I thought the travel time on that missile was going to be slightly higher. The condition on that is if you shoot that second wave before the in-game timer reaches 5 minutes 30 seconds, it spawns a third wave. And obviously shooting the third wave is slower than just shooting the first two. Especially when you only spawn it by like half a second.
You got that, Nuggets?
Wardog 2, roger.
Wardog 3, roger. Wardog 4, hello? Can you hear me, kid? You'd better be marking our tail, son. Looks like you're confident, at least. Don't get separated from me. Man, I'm glad you drew the short straw instead of me. Second Lieutenant Alvin H. Davenport. Zip it. You need a nickname, too? I respectfully ask to be called Chopper, sir. I'm afraid I may not be able to respond to any other moniker. That does fit you well. I've got a better name for you, but I'll keep it to myself. Okay?
There's the black
Cut me some slack, man. Tally-ho, we've got company. Let's go. You're forbidden to fire until I give permission, understand?
Sure. I will not shoot at the black boy.
Alright, where's Motormouth Chopper? What? That's your name for me? You got a knack for comic dialogue. You mind sending a surrender request for me?
Hello, Fukushima. Hello, hello.
Before beauty.
How are you doing?
I'm real shy around strangers, you know.
You kind of said for a second.
Testing. Attention, unidentified aircraft. Set your course for our beacon immediately. Good.
How are you doing?
We will direct you to the nearest airfield. Lower your gear if you understand.
Are you familiar with this game?
Warning, we have 4 high-speed bogies inbound. Approaching unknown aircraft bearing 280, altitude 6,000. Hold your fire until further orders. Crossing the pond to fly cover for their spy plane, huh? Now there's a fighter pilot worth his wings. Enemy inbound bearing 280, head on.
Still hate that I can't shoot
You're not to fire
babies.
until I say it's okay, got me? Good boy.
Curious how all this. Ah!
Heads up! They're firing on us! Wardog Squadron,
I'm just curious how that goes, but I'm really bad at bomb
Oh,
drops.
come on! Those aren't blanks they're firing out there!
I'm pretty sure you can do that in this game. I know you can do it in 0. It's like genuinely part of the speedrun strat is to.
Going around like a drunk.
I
Damn it!
don't think I've ever seen that line of dialogue
Shut
happen
your
in my
mouth
life.
and fire back! Captain Bartlett, this is Thunderhead. You are violating direct orders. Shut it. I'm not gonna watch any more of my
Fourth
pilots
one
die.
is knife. 5 o'clock.
We're gonna shoot them all down, kid. You mind
That's
if I
like
grab
corruption
this
a little
kill?
bit.
I will, you know. Go ahead. Wardog Squadron, weapons safe. Hold your fire until further orders.
Turning to engage bandits.
This is a lot better having like an extra 30 seconds in this. Though.
Hold your fire. My only
Even if technically my issue the first time was that I shut the gun too quickly.
We're in enemy territory. Be careful. Wardog, I ordered weapons safe for all aircraft. Follow orders and hold your fire. Nice.
This might also pose problems.
Trying to start a war or something?
Please don't shoot
Do
this.
not fire at the target.
Please don't shoot at this wingman.
Not fire at the target.
Yes, follow
Enemy
orders.
recon plane down.
No, I need you to follow orders.
Too tired to party?
Where the
Whoa, those guys are really
wingman
mad
AI
now.
are really inconsistent.
Line of 4 fighters inbound. Eliminate them at once. All unknown bogey aircraft destroyed.
That extra line of dialogue.
This is your
Those
captain.
no.
Can you hear my voice? Good. Looks like we can all hear each other. You all alive? Alright. Nice work, Nuggets. War Dog 4, you still following us? Well, to commemorate the fact that we all made it out of that battle alive, I'm gonna let you keep your nickname. From now on, I'm gonna call you Kid, no matter what. Got it? Good. Man, I swear.
No, you can't. You can't skip the post-it mission dialogue. Nope, nope, nope. I really wish you could. That'd be really convenient. At least I don't know of any way to. Yeah, we'd save something like 35 minutes, I think, in the run, if we could skip the dialogue.
War Dog, this is Thunderhead. Unmanned recon drones returning to spy vessel.
Yeah, because I think,
Before they get back to the
yeah,
ship.
somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 minutes, because my PR time is 3:47:16,
Got that, gang?
but the in-game time for that run was 3:11:10, I think, or 3:11:04. So we would literally save 36 minutes
Understood?
if we could skip the dialogue,
Aim only for the recon planes.
which would be really nice.
How you doing, kid? Pretty easy, huh?
Especially since you end up
Okay,
with
let's hurry up and finish this.
bits that are inconsistent. Like I got an extra line of dialogue there, right? The enemy squadron saying flight of 4 enemy fighters inbound. Like that line doesn't always play, and so like I lost 3 seconds just to that, and then
So we can just shoot them down and not worry about it. Warning, multiple bogies inbound.
that
Moving fast.
is
Same attack axis as before. 280, same vector as last time.
now in general I like a lot of
They got
the
lined up at the border.
post-mission
Only got
dialogue.
4 on our side. We'd better abort. This way.
You know, it does get annoying after hearing it 100 times, but it doesn't make it bad. It would certainly be nice from the speed run if we could skip the dialogue. If anyone wants to figure that out, you'd literally save more than half an hour on a less than 4 hour run. Be a very welcome improvement.
I can't make it. They're running me down.
These ones, however, you can shoot
Oh, you're taking the
before
trail
the...
position today, rock and roller?
I should have been... Where
Hold on,
is this
we're
plane?
clear 6 o'clock for you. Damn it! Why'd I have to draw the short straw today? You splashed an enemy without permission to engage? What are you thinking,
Yeah, and
Warthog?
before it was even marked as a target on my...
Everyone else,
I have
quick
a-
cock
I
and
have a-
start shooting. Don't worry. Just remember your training. Captain Bartlett!
Break right. Landed on the captain's tail. I'm on it.
Alright, not bad.
Enemy fire confirmed. Turning to engage. Edge engaging.
Heartbreak 1 engaging. Chopper engaging.
These planes are over.
Warthog, you are not cleared to engage at this time.
Yeah, well,
We're gonna shoot them all down, kid.
I've already shot down 4 of them, so it's already a problem. We'll just shoot down the other 3.
Stay alert. They have you on radar.
I didn't think that was gonna hit, but...
Do not pursue the
These
enemy
planes.
across the border into Ocean territory.
Are those the same fighters from before?
Picture clear. All hostile
Yeah,
aircraft
or
are destroyed.
Nagase's line there, also completely unnecessary. But now that the enemy has properly declared war,
Due to pressing circumstances, I'll be
we're gonna
issuing
have
an
an actual,
emergency in-flight
we have
briefing.
an actual battle that's not just nonsense.
Clear to engage.
Blaze, cover me!
Blaze,
Here.
engage.
No, you're gonna cover me.
Engaging. I'll cover your 6.
See?
All right, Blaze? Blaze, you take the lead. I'll go trail and follow.
The tanker next to us just exploded! Where's the fireboat? It's spraying to our ship! Help us!
Come on.
Nobody saw them coming?
Their ships are just sitting at anchor. This is like target practice. Enemy reinforcements detected. Heads up and
Snow,
get ready.
come on. Do your job.
Captain, do you know how to give your commands? Cool. I'm ready for them anytime, so just say the word.
The fireboat got caught in the explosion!
Yep, so Yukibanya, the enemy nation, declared war and launched a simultaneous offensive, which is this one.
Target is the enemy aircraft carrier and the large surface combatants surrounding it.
Them trying to sink ships in this harbor. It's a very Pearl Harbor kind of moment.
At all costs. It's time for our Aegis ship to live up to its name. Thanks, everyone. We request your cover until we break out of the port.
Blaze, this is Edge. Have you located the carrier Kestrel?
Yeah, the IFF put it in a really big blue box.
Still all right. The entire Gulf is in flames!
Man, what happened here? This is worse than even I imagined.
This is the port captain. All vessels leave port immediately. Ships nearest to the exit first.
I don't care if we take hull damage. We're clearing out of here any way we can. Escape the port and take evasive action. No mistakes. This is the aircraft carrier Kestrel. Approaching port exit.
Roger, Kestrel. The Kestrel takes top priority. That barge over there, move it. I know you want out of here,
So-
but open up a path.
That part makes sense. Carrier is the flagship of the Gorizont 3rd Fleet.
All friendly aircraft, protect the Kestrel for us.
That order makes sense. Again.
On my way. That's our ship. Negative. This is AWACS.
That order doesn't. It's his own ship. There are only 5 planes.
But that's my carrier.
Or 4 planes. The 3 of us plus Snow.
Damn it, you pig-headed. All right. I'm counting it.
He's supposed to be a flight lead, but the rest of his squadron just isn't here.
Bogey dope. Give me a target. Bogeys inbound from Vector 280. It's no use. There's too many of them. Get a hold of yourself. Your radar control is critical.
I'm abandoning ship. We're sitting ducks over here. Come back here, you
And in
coward!
this case, we've shot down all of the planes, but we just have to wait for all the dialogue to catch up. Slash for the ship to get out of the harbor.
What are you doing? Hurry up and get out of here! This is it. It's over. Man, this is the worst day of my life. Range to bay exit, 3 miles.
Do you want to be any faster, Kestrel?
This is Thunderhead. We need you to take care of the Kestrel.
Sure, there's literally nothing to protect it from.
Don't take your eyes off the Kestrel.
Those are people floating in the waves.
Okay.
Kid, did you see that?
Nope, I skipped the cutscene.
Never mind then.
We're out of the Gulf, but stay alert.
I mean, you don't see the people floating in the waves anyway, so...
Come on. Whoever's out there,
south. Get that bucket of bolts out of here.
This is the captain of the aircraft carrier Kestrel. My congratulations to all ships that managed to escape. As captain, I will now form a provisional battle fleet. The enemy's built a blockade with their fleet in front of us. We have to break through this and escape to safer waters. Good luck, everyone. All friendly aircraft, your support is requested.
Blaze, this is Thunderhead. Are you clear on the mission objective?
Like crazy.
Roger, begin the mission at once.
How did I miss enough
Gotta
of
be an enemy
those?
aircraft targeting the carrier from beyond the horizon. Stay on the lookout for inbound long-range anti-ship missiles. Almost there. We're almost through the blockade.
The smoke's blocking my view ahead.
I hate bombs.
I'm cutting in.
I hate that we don't have access to anti-surface missiles for this mission.
This is what we've trained for. We can do this. As long as we're still afloat.
Imagine if I had access to the Hornet.
Fox 2! Fox 2! I'm not gonna let them sink us here.
It broke through. It's one tough boat, man. Yeah.
So, kid, does it feel good to be the flight lead?
I see. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Hi, enemy plane.
This is the captain of the aircraft carrier Kestrel. Our fleet has successfully escaped to safe waters. My thanks to our brave warriors of the sea and in the air.
No, you're not an enemy plane. You're Captain Snow. I think. Interesting. Because that's an F-14. Hey, Joker. Hello, hello. How are you doing?
Control tower to War Dog. Intercept the bombers. Don't let them attack the
And now the Bonians have launched a bunch of bombers at our base, which is
Glad to hear it. Looks like
not ideal, it turns out. And we don't take too kindly to it. Where are you, bomber?
Approaching Sand Island.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's what I like to hear. You got any plans for like the long weekend? I realize we're kind of halfway through it, but
I trust you can hold the runway until we arrive. Right.
yeah, we can hold the runway. That's not my concern. My concern is you getting shot down.
spreading to our ammo dump. Get anything flammable out of here. The ammo too.
This is Chopper. Kid, have you picked up the targets?
Yes, I've literally shot down 3 bombers. Gonna keep playing San Andreas or switch to AC5? I mean, I have a suggestion. I'll let you guess which of those two I'd recommend.
Kid, Grim's coming up. I'm not sure he can handle this. Are we just gonna watch? Roger, let's give him a hand. Control systems are okay?
No, I've not actually played San Andreas, so I don't know that it's really a fair comparison.
Target right now for the enemy. We have to protect him.
I have played Ace Combat 5.
Oil pressure? No problems?
Who was that? That guy's nuts.
Another one's taking off now.
Missile, get out of there.
Hit confirmed. Engine sounds great. Thank you, mechanics.
Glad sometimes that these small planes generally aren't solid. I don't think I actually crashed into that one. I've definitely done it in the past.
Fuel check. This ought to be enough. Ejection system okay? The enemy is taking off. Destroy them before they get airborne. This is Grim. I'm about to take off. Can you see me from up there?
Yeah, you're in a big green box. Not hard to find.
Takeoff position on the runway. Engines full power.
Come back, come back. Don't stop him. Let him go.
Come on, Grim. Actually, you're not the person waiting on it, but hurry up anyway. It's an emergency takeoff. You don't have all day to taxi.
Enemy planes climbing up to meet us. Be careful.
Who is talking?
Get up! Climb!
I'm airborne. Grim, get over here and cover my 6. Roger. This is Airman First Class Grim. Call sign Archer. Control tower and all aircraft. I will be joining the War Dog Squadron.
This is the control tower. Roger that. Blaze, take care of them for us.
Oh, hi, Lieutenant
War
Harwood.
Dog leader. Sand Island, I'm out of fuel. Request clearance to land.
Negative, Lieutenant Colonel Ford. You can't land. We're under attack.
All friendly aircraft, cover me while I land.
What are you, insane?
Oh,
Second Lieutenant Davenport, is that you?
Yes, sir.
I'll make sure to write you up after I land.
Determined fire! The Lieutenant Colonel's gone down!
Third wave closing fast.
This is the control tower. Another wave of bombers approaching. Close fast and destroy them.
Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm.
That's some crazy flying. They resorted to launching him into battle? This base is toast, isn't it?
but it'd be less toast if you didn't keep talking
Control
unnecessarily.
tower to all aircraft. All bombers confirmed destroyed. Thanks for protecting our base, everyone.
What?
Was my flying all right? Thank you. It was
I didn't realize this mission could glitch out too. Who was shooting
You
at
didn't need
me?
to worry about Grim after all. Come on, let's get a welcoming party going.
I didn't know that could happen with this mission.
Blaze.
I thought Ancient Walls was the only mission that did that, where like planes just refused to despawn for some reason. Strange. Strange, strange, strange. That's fine though. For some reason, there is a don't quite know why this works, but we can kind of mash through this arcade mode intro. We get to play as Mobius 1. And then immediately quit out because arcade mode is not what you want.
Mobius 1, engage. Clear to engage.
But for some reason, entering that and then immediately leaving gives us access to the F-22, which is a much better plane than the F-5. So we're gonna not use the F-5 anymore. At least not for a bit.
War Dog launch.
I also wish you could make that load faster like you can in ACZ. Because Zero lets you, like,
This is Thunderhead.
do a limited load of the
Arrived outside
hammers
the
so that
range
it
of
actually
enemy
doesn't
counterattack.
bother loading
Permission
the
granted to
plane
return
models.
to your assigned bases
And so
in
the whole thing is
sequence.
just faster.
Aircraft may refuel fuel for the return trip if
You
required.
can't do that in
Hold
5.
above the carrier for the tanker aircraft.
Everyone's starting to leave. Can we go yet?
War Dog Squadron, I told you to wait for the tanker plane above the carrier.
I swear, man. Hey, what is that? Is my radar on the fritz?
It's showing up on
It's
mine, too.
fine, Chopper.
Where'd it come from? How come the morons at Thunder Blockhead didn't notice it? Yo, kid!
You have to call him Captain now.
Yeah. Hey, you
I feel like the snow is starting to come out here finally.
Enemy approaching. All units, return to your
I assume
combat
that's what
air
that
patrol
is.
stations. Protect the carriers.
Actually, I don't... Who is that? Because I think snow is actually
Three
marked.
carriers. Don't let them sink even one.
Like, as snow on the HUD.
We'll take care of them ourselves.
Edge engaging.
I can't take off. Shoot down those enemy planes for me.
Okay, I'm coming. Hold on.
Archer, engaging.
Chopper engaging. Hurry and launch the carrier jets.
Good job, Glenn. You actually did a thing for once.
Don't repeat the mistakes we made last time.
Visibility is poor. It's the perfect time and place for a surprise attack. Yeah, I can't help but feel like everything's working against us.
Come on, I can do this. I've been through a real battle before.
But you've been through part of a real battle before.
Target hit.
You got kind of took off in the middle of the operation.
Know when to attack. Something's strange here, but I'm not sure what. Is that what an enemy attack is usually like?
Ship damage. Engine shutdown.
Fox 2. Missile hit. Nice kill.
Missile hit.
This stack of Harriers that is way too slow, apparently.
All the way here? Man, I hate these guys. I really do.
Fair. I also really hate them.
Captain, I suggest we disperse.
That didn't make any sense, but I guess
Roger.
that's...
Maintaining current formation.
Thank you, whoever shot that down. Thank you, Grim. That's not the setup that I would normally want for that.
Full speed ahead. Leave the area at once.
Yeah, snow is marked, so I wonder who that unmarked plane is.
Carriers ASAP.
The carrier aircraft are airborne. All right, I'm airborne. Come up and get me.
Oh, they're finally here. What took you guys so long? All personnel to battle stations.
Captain Snow, you're responsible for the air defense effort.
Roger, Captain. I won't let you down. All right, gentlemen. It's time to clean house.
There are only 3 planes left,
Bandits
Snow.
on radar. Heads up. They're carrying
You
long-range
can clean
anti-ship
house, but I've
missiles.
already scored 7,600
Do not
points.
allow them to
There
get
are only
in
3
range.
planes
Fly
left.
out to intercept.
Somehow I don't think you're taking this one.
Some of these guys are packing anti-ship missiles. Can you see any?
No, but I will in a
There
second.
will be trouble if they are out there. We'll take them before they can approach the ships.
Enemy fighters closing in on carrier. Warning! Enemy fighters within range to fire anti-ship missile. Defend the carrier.
This is the aircraft carrier, Vulture. Missile strike off our bow. Severe shockwaves.
Nice kill.
Rapier 8, engage.
Locked on.
Evade. Move it.
Keep running him down.
Hey, that's all of them.
From the south, too. I see them. Moving to intercept.
All enemy attack planes can
The extra 2 lines of dialogue are unnecessary, though.
Nice work, War Dog. War Dog, your air defense mission is complete. Hold for the tanker aircraft above the Kestrel.
Ballistic.
Hey, what's that?
I've been hit. I'm out of control.
Well, there we go.
Eyes on the guy in my 6. Allied squadron wiped out. What happened? Too much. The carrier's head. It's tipping.
Now we just
Someone. Anyone. What's happening?
have to
Everything below 5,000 feet was just annihilated. Second missile incoming. Damn it. Listen up. If you want to survive, then climb above 5,000 feet before that thing hits. All units, move it. Kestrel, evasive action. What are we gonna do, kid? I'll follow you.
How do you know we'll be safe even if we climb?
Are they sure it's 5,000 feet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5,000 feet. Yes. I still don't understand why people can't climb to 5,000 feet. It's not like you're asking them to climb to like 40,000 feet, right? Which is above the stall ceiling.
10 seconds to next impact. 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5,000 feet? Like, it's not that high. It's not even a mile up.
How could this happen to our fleet?
Heavy damage! All hands, abandon ship! What the hell was that attack? It was like molten steel raining down on us! What's going on? Somebody tell me! How did we come to this? How can one missile do this much damage? This is the Kestrel. All surviving aircraft. Respond.
This is Swordsman. I managed to stay alive. Looks like the War Dog squad made it too.
I also think it's interesting that the command was all surviving aircraft respond, and then literally only Snow responded. Survivor, exactly. But like,
Halt the countdown. Enemy incoming. This is
all
the base
surviving
air
aircraft
command.
respond. I realize I'm a
Large
mute
formation of
protagonist, so
transport
like,
planes escorted
that's
by
not
a
gonna
squadron
happen,
of
but
fighters. They're conducting an air assault to capture this base.
Nagase is not gonna actually check in for us.
They're actually planning to invade Osea?
I don't know. That's always struck me as
If we
strange.
shoot the parachutes before the tanks detach, we'll smash them into the ground. You with me? I guess we don't have any other choice. I can't believe that's our strategy.
Airborne tanks are dropping from the transport plane.
I mean, it would be also,
Those parachutes?
it would be a little bit awkward, but you could frame it as a yes, no.
All airborne ACVs. Engage them in the air and on
It's like, we
ground.
could respond.
The ACVs are moving this way. Don't let them get near the mass driver.
Some of the tanks appear to have taken damage when they hit the ground. There's too many of them. We can't take them all out in the air.
No, but we can take them out on the ground. It's
Hey,
not
I
that
thought we
big
had
a deal.
air superiority. Tanks falling from the air? What kind of operation is this, anyway? These guys make great targets, until they get on the ground, anyway.
It's all over if the tanks break through. Blaze, do you think our forces are sufficient? I'd like to think so too. But they even had to call us out, you know?
I never liked tanks. Now I really hate them.
Tanks aren't that bad, honestly.
They're halting the countdown after all this? All that hard work, just down the drain.
Like, they only take 2 missiles. They're not that bad.
Fox 2!
Direct hit! Damage report!
Like, my bigger concern is things like these transport planes.
The enemy is spread out over a large area. Should we split up to engage them? This is Archer. Understood. We wouldn't want to lose our formation balance.
Use the trailers to form a barricade.
Because I don't have 3 missiles to
Get
shoot
the
at one
strike and
time.
I'll slam right into one of them. Man, this is bad for my health.
Attention Allied planes. Destroy all approaching enemy tanks.
Yeah, I've done that.
All Yuktobani and ACVs destroyed. Our thanks to all Allied aircraft. That should be most of them.
It looks like they've abandoned the ground invasion and decided to just destroy the base. Wipe out the remaining enemy forces. Make an effort to minimize any damage to the mass driver. Large number of cruise missiles tracked on the outer edge of our radar coverage. All fighters, engage and destroy these cruise missiles.
How about we engage to destroy the
Captain,
bombers
can you detect the
shooting
cruise
at
missiles
instead?
from there? I picked them up as well. They're heading for the facility. Look at all those missiles.
Confirmed kill on a bomber. Those must be the aircraft behind those cruise missiles.
The SSTO's gonna get hit if this keeps up.
This is Flight Director Adam
I
Gittleman.
mean, maybe,
Continue
but
SSTO
the
launch. Recommence launch sequence.
mass driver can take a few hits, so that's fine. And these missiles are not aiming for the SSTO, they're aiming for the mass driver.
Very end. That is all.
Because the SSTO is like on the
Weather
western
team,
end of it.
Roger. Flight control team, Roger.
Guidance team, roger. The number of incoming cruise missiles is decreasing.
There's so many of them, they're going to penetrate our defenses sooner or later.
Missile trajectories detected. Moving to intercept. My plane can't keep up with them. We're being pushed back, little by little.
What about the final check on the remote measurement units? Sorry, sir. Remote measurement units check complete. 4 minutes to launch. Hold them off till then. 4 minutes? We won't last that long.
Blaze, do you know why the Arcbird was built? Ironic, isn't it?
Communications.
Just
I want
a
you to
little
ensure
bit,
all
honestly.
comm lines stay open. We got it covered, sir. 3 modes of communication. Wired, wireless, and runners. Take the wound into warehouse 4!
I can't shoot them all down.
You'll do fine. Stay calm and you won't miss.
Gosh, Ma. Well, thanks for the raid. What are you up to? Let's, Fukushima.
Kid, is the launch
I think I
facility
spelled that
safe?
correctly.
I can't tell from here.
You're just chatting?
Good. I'll continue the operation.
Was your stream good?
3 minutes!
Hello, everyone.
3 minutes to go!
Welcome, welcome.
Damn it, the missile! The catapult camera just shut off. Was the SSTO hit? The
Those
camera
of you
just
who
malfunctioned.
don't know me, I'm Lily.
Calm down.
Well, I'm the butterfly princess of hugs. I didn't have a hug. Give me a second. I play a lot of
Evacuate the area immediately.
kind of a bunch of different games. I don't play like the same game like you know, every day or every week. I like to kind of mix things up. But I play a lot of RPGs and things like that. Things that are generally calmer than this.
Missile failed to guide on the target.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay. Thanks for pointing that out in front of everybody.
Close in a few minutes.
Um,
Have faith in our fighter pilots.
but yeah, welcome,
Rush your
welcome.
final checks.
We're currently playing Ace Combat 5, which is a game I played a lot when I was little.
Fire in each block.
Yeah.
Final pre-flight check. All stations, go over everything one last time. Guidance, navigation, flight control, telemetry.
I like this game a lot. It is, however, not very well designed for speedrunning. It is very long. It is kind of slow. Lots of waiting around. We've already completed the mission objective, but I can't do anything until this launch facility decides to actually launch. But I don't need to be shooting these planes.
Shot down! Kids missile smoked the target!
This is Zenith 5. Zenith 1 was shot down by the enemy.
1 minute left. Have a safe trip.
I do like seeing the random Buke squadrons show up every once in a while, though.
Damn it. Is this it for us?
Yeah, we're at mission 6 out of 27, depending on exactly how you count. So we're
Launch Jack?
still pretty early on. Things have been going fairly well.
Change soon. We're in deep trouble.
I've had some runs recently where things start off really well, and then they don't. And so there have been like 2 or 3 streams, I think, at this point, where I've been set to like PR by 2-3 minutes and end up not PRing at all.
We're gonna launch this thing if it kills us. 5,
I was playing earlier this week, and it was planes not spawning where they were supposed to,
0. Liftoff. SSTO
so I had to like wait and re-trigger them somehow.
SSTO passing checkpoint
But
1. Passing checkpoint 2.
hopefully we won't do that.
Passing checkpoint 3.
Or have that problem, and we can just
Mass driver hit by cruise missile.
actually win this war without too many shenanigans going on.
SSTO status report. Everything's clear.
One thing that's
All systems
really
are
annoying,
go.
as much as I
Yeah,
like
I'm
this
seeing
game,
it now. It's a
the
beautiful
post-mission
sight.
dialogue is always
This is
really,
great.
really slow, and I wish you could skip it, but you can't.
Observation room reporting. The SSTO is climbing smoothly.
So if we've already gotten the mission objective, or the mission accomplished thing, but... which is why the in-game timer has stopped. But the mission won't actually end. No. I wasn't tabbed into the split, I was still tapped into chat. That's not too bad though. We are like at least 2 minutes up, so
War Dog, launch.
that's not too bad.
This is AWACS Thunderhead. All units, listen carefully.
The A10? No, the A10 is in this game, but this is the F-18.
Side of the family.
It's gonna follow, David.
Cut the chatter. First down bearing 280 degrees. You are clear
Yeah,
to
the
engage
A10
on
is in this game. I don't think we have access to it, though. I don't exactly remember when its unlock is.
Seriously, they got their hands full just
But-
keeping their planes in the air.
The problem with the Warthog is that
We'd like to be the
it's
same way,
slow.
but it's just impossible in a situation like this.
Enemy planes approaching! This is Sand Island base defense! Enemy amphibious force intercepted at the coastline!
the A10 is slow, and its special weapon, XHEM, is just not actually that useful for speedrun. It's pretty good in-game.
What?
Uh,
Get out of there, Grim. You nuggets too.
yeah, like something like this mission. If you're familiar with the game,
You hear me, nuggets?
um,
You have to climb.
then you know this mission.
Get your altitude.
We have to sink a submarine, but it's like one target,
Missile launch confirmed. Believed to be a
and
burst missile with multiple warheads that separate
it's
in
just
midair.
not that great at doing damage. It's better at spread damage,
Wait, we're getting a command override from somewhere.
but spread damage is just a lot less useful in this game. At least for anti-surface stuff.
8, 7,
The LIS, the long-range anti-ship missile or anti-surface missile that the Hornet carries
3,
is
1.
better at. It's like, I think it's the highest
Vaporized in midair.
damage per shot.
What was that? Did you see that, kid?
I did, I think.
Light fell from the sky.
Was that the Artbird?
Missile destroyed by a
So yeah, that submarine that we're supposed to be shooting eventually is shooting burst missiles at us. Conveniently, we just launched a satellite laser cannon thing, so it can shoot the missiles for us. And this mission is comprised of 3 phases. The first one, shoot 8 ships, or sink 8 ships, activates phase 2. That's why we're prioritizing ships. This bit's actually scripted. So this part won't end until it decides to.
Thunderhead, this is Blue Hound.
So we can't make this part go any faster, we can just shoot all these helicopters.
Blackbird, we'll send the data over as soon as we detect the missile. We're counting on you.
I don't believe it. How did the enemy build something like that?
You live in Strangetrail, you're gonna ask about how enemies are able to build them? You've not heard of any of the super weapons that have gotten built over the last 30 years.
From enemy sub.
Hey.
Locked on.
Have you not seen Stonehenge? Have you not seen Chandelier? Have you not seen Megalith? Have you not seen... I guess Chandelier hasn't happened yet. Anyway. Hi, Kirkboard. How you doing?
Missile destroyed. We did it.
Did the vet appointment go well?
What was that light? They shot that from outer space?
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get out of this alive. I know it.
You probably shouldn't have said that, Rookie.
Don't panic. We haven't lost yet.
Saying that you're going to survive is not good.
More missiles. Number 3.
Not a good idea.
Number 5.
You have fun wrecking yourself to death.
Come on, Artbird, use your lasers! The Nuggets are gonna get killed!
Climb, kids! Go, go, go!
Come on, Nuggets! Climb! Move it!
I'm not a nugget. I don't have to follow Nagase's instructions. Cat's doing better? That's good.
That attack really come from
Yeah,
a submarine?
Cat not doing well. It's definitely not.
Missile vaporized in midair.
They're coming. They're
I'm glad everything might not be resolved, but is at least like looking towards that. Did you ever say hi, Don? No, you did not. Hi, Don. I mean, you did, just not today.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Impact
Hello.
now.
How are you doing?
The inject handle's stuck. Wings damaged. Losing
Oh, that's okay.
They're all falling.
How have you been?
We can't deal with the enemy fleet like this.
This is Sand Island base defense. Intense fighting along the coastline. We
Finally had time to get food, so you got food? I mean, that's a good thing.
The missiles and continue attacking the ships.
Oh, yeah! Just wade through the missiles! What are you, nuts?
Blue Hound, this is Artbird.
It is not food time. It is prep to sink submarine time.
Stand by. We're dropping the new Son of Boy.
All remaining squadrons, rejoin into attack formation.
It's kind of hard to eat while you're flying this plane. I don't recommend it.
Blue Hound, this is Artbird. Is that sonar buoy data available yet? Roger. We're sending it now.
I'd rather it be destroyed or live long enough to be used against my character. I mean, basically.
Countdown to firing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then if you're used against me, I have to destroy you. So you just get destroyed. Or you end up joining my forces.
Submerged Syntaxi.
Because otherwise, it doesn't tend to end well.
Syntaxi surfacing.
Don't shoot at us, we'll have to shoot back at you.
Looks like it's lost
Yep.
diving ability.
There's a reason that's a line from the
All
game.
units, commence attack.
This infect's surfacing, but appears to be damaged.
Aircraft launching from enemy submarine.
Roger. Blue Hound, stand by. War Dog, engage.
Yep.
Blackbird, firing laser.
Direct hit. It ripped up that
Come on. Thank you.
have lost the ability to launch
And there we
additional
go.
aircraft.
It is not, however, food time, Kirkburn. It is still not food time. We have a president to save, remember? And no, you don't need to point out that in-game this mission takes place 2 weeks later. That's an unnecessary detail. No, but remember who the president is? The president is the CEO of the Cheesecake Factory, remember? So don't you want to save them? Don't you want to save them so that you can have the cheesecake? Was that William? Was that William's guess? It's like, who is this person? The CEO of the Cheesecake Factory?
Commander just won't give us a
Like,
break, will
where'd
he?
that come from?
He's relying on us, First Lieutenant Chopper. Hey, congratulations on your promotion, by the way.
That's weird. I don't feel any
He's not the president of the Cheesecake Factory, he's the president of OCO, but okay.
300 miles south of you.
Roger.
Damaged, but the damage is light.
Transmitting aircraft. State your assignment and current status.
I always forget that there's a pause between that cutscene and the...
The
Briefing?
Air Defense Command just received multiple radar hits on an enemy formation closing on your position. First bad guys we've seen crossing the pond for a while.
So the president is on that plane.
Alarms are going off like mad, but we're the only ones
President
near
of
enough to
Cheesecake and the
intercept them in
CEO
time.
of OCO. I don't
Hold
think
on,
that's how
baby,
that
we're
works.
coming to your rescue.
Yeah, nope. No. I know how the setup works. We go over this way.
Blaze, can you see the transport craft?
Yeah.
Roger. Keep your eyes on it.
Okay, I've got him on my radar.
Just like the intelligence said. The radio's picking up the enemy's voice.
It always does that, Grim.
Beautiful as Thunderhead. Sweet as a rose, I tell you.
Don't let up just because it's a transport plane. If we take out this guy, they won't just give
I,
us a medal.
for some reason, feel very unprepared to do this.
Cargo certainly worth that much.
It's not even hard, but like, I don't know what any of the cues are.
What are these guys talking about?
I have no idea why. It's not even that hard. I've done this trick a bunch.
Escort, we're completely defenseless.
I just need to go north.
Well, now, this is turning out to be a weird little race against the enemy.
That might not be good.
Our plane isn't as agile as yours.
Yeah, we'll
so
go for it.
take that into
What's the
consideration.
worst that can happen? We fail the mission and have to restart the run. That's the worst that can happen.
AA system activated. Mother Goose 1, evade.
That's fine. It can take a hit. It just can't take two. It's fine.
My plane's damaged, so I can't put undue stress on the airframe. As much as you can, try to fly in a straight line for me.
I'm indeed flying in a straight line. Everything's fine.
We've successfully navigated through the AA system. Thank you. However, I'd like to ask for your continued escort.
Fine, we'll continue to escort you.
Chopper team has arrived.
Hey, kid.
I really wish we didn't have to.
Mother Goose 1, we'll take care of him. Please separate at maximum speed.
Please, I'm counting on you.
I still love that Nagase knows who's on this plane. Right.
Additional enemy targets
We'll
on
take
the
care of
radar.
him, she says.
Mother Goose 1, please keep your current vector.
Roger. Roger. Damn it.
Your speed's decreasing. What's the matter?
Mechanical trouble. I'm losing thrust on engine 1.
Hey, I see escort fighters.
I thought there weren't gonna be any escorts.
How did that miss?
Damn it, they got the captain's plane.
genuinely, how did I miss that first shot?
I'll take a look. You take the controls.
Captain, there's a problem with the hydraulics. Archer, engaging.
Chopper engaging.
I mean, those ones missing was fine.
Prepare to eject if necessary. We'll be all right. They'll take care of us.
Chopper, Grim, cover me.
Okay, I'm protecting this transport plane no matter what.
Yeah,
We let this get away, they're gonna court-martial.
way over there, so I got stuck dogfighting. That's not good.
This plane had some weapons.
Edge, Fox 2! Yes! Missile hit!
They learned to weave through the missiles.
The fire's under control. Automatic extinguisher system activated. Archer, Fox 2!
To actually protect this I was gonna call it a chopper. It is not a chopper. It is a transport plane.
Call for support. Don't let them get away from us.
Chopper, Fox 2. Look at
Really?
that, direct hit.
Fine, I'll
Nice
just
kill,
get that one.
Captain.
All right, that's the way to do it. Hang in there. Leave the enemy to them. Keep your current vector. Hey, get back in your seat.
I still hate make 31s.
Hey, it's Dutch rolling. This is transport plane, Mother Goose 1. The captain's been shot. What? There was a spy in the crew. Two of the engines are shut down. Hey, what kind of cargo you got in there? Is it something dangerous? Hey, you there?
And Chopper obviously doesn't know who's on this plane.
Wounded by a stray bullet. Tommy's holding the stick now.
You think he ought to recognize Cargo's voice here?
So who are you?
If you were on the radio, right, and you were communicating with this person,
The cargo on this
Um,
plane. Could you tell me how to control this thing?
do you think you'd recognize the president's voice?
Lower your altitude. Prepare for emergency landing. Put your flaps down. That'll lower your airspeed. Can you find your flap lever?
Flap lever. Is that it? No.
You only realized how the pilot got wounded? I mean, wasn't he shot?
We can't go on. Could you shoot those down for us?
Let's do it.
And the co-pilot was hit by his
We've got no other choice.
spare bullet? Something like that?
Let's do it. Are you still there, ma'am? With a lovely voice? Miss...
First Lieutenant K. Nagase. Sir.
And a lovely name as well. And I'm
You two
Chopper.
are slightly too far away.
That's a good name, too. I like
Ah, yeah,
you,
there was a
man.
spy in the plane.
Tommy's going to try landing now.
There was a spy in
but
the
he's
crew.
never done this
Tommy's
before.
holding the stick
I
now.
don't know if we'll make it, so I just want to thank you before we go.
You'll be okay.
Yes, you'll do fine.
Tommy, those broken windows will be our guideposts.
Yep, there was a spy in the crew. It was probably someone related to Belka. Actually, it was definitely someone related to Belka, but 8492 isn't on
These
it.
windmills are huge, but they're still a hard target from up here.
They're really not. You need to get a better HUD.
This is gonna be difficult. I have to aim carefully.
I'm not entirely sure how infrared missiles can target these windmills, but, you know, I guess it's fine.
I don't think the transport plane's gonna wait for us. Hey, kid, don't give yourself a headache aiming at every single one.
Mother Goose 1, just keep going.
That's a pretty good runway.
Someone trying to steal a secret cheesecake recipe?
Altitude 100 feet.
Those Balkans.
Almost there, I think.
They're always one step ahead.
That's a pretty good
Don't you think
emergency
so?
landing, I'd say.
This is Archer. Surrounding airspace is clear of enemy aircraft. Everything is A-OK.
It'd be interesting if... Oh, come on. It'd be interesting if the 8492nd were actually on radar at that point.
Mother Goose 1, Landing confirmed.
The sky's clear of enemy aircraft. You know, you see 4 blue aircraft coming in, and you're like, oh, look, allies. But it's actually data for 92nd. But instead, they just aren't there.
War Dog, launch.
A treacherous aura. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And given that they do end up betraying Osea,
Terry, got something I need to tell you. The enemy's right in front of us, Scott. Save it for later. Yeah, I guess you're right.
gotta love
Later
crap.
then.
The 4 companies will now land at their designated beachheads. Commence close air support.
This is Company D. We're almost at the beach.
Go. Move forward. You're almost there. That's it.
Falcon Groundhog Fighter Squadron.
Keep rowing. To hell with this war. This is Company A. Landing successful. Deploy the armored vehicles now. Jump off the side of the ship. Move, move. Land already. Hit that beach and start running. There's no time to kiss the ground. Don't let them set foot on our homeland. Take cover in the sand. Hide anywhere you can. Stop them at the water's edge.
B should be running into
Your weapons.
bunker.
We'll get surrounded if we move too far forward.
This is Company B. Our attack's getting held up by fierce fire from the bunkers. Halt the enemy fire with
No, it's not.
We'll charge in at the same time.
Hurry to the designated area and provide close air support. Activate your radar map to check location. Landing confirmed. Continue your support. Provide top cover for the armored vehicles.
Is the attack target confirmed, kid?
I still hate how,
Ground forces. Bunkers captured.
like,
Thanks for the air support.
this mission involves, like, timing attacks with the ground forces, right, and being responsive to them.
Fox 2!
But then so much of that synchronization happens with dialogue you can't hear.
Better adjust our strategy.
Bunkers opening fire again. Retreat! Retreat!
Right? Like,
We're requesting close air support against the remaining
the part where this particular bunker reopened was an unsubtitled secondary dialogue
attack can come from anywhere.
message.
Can't tell what's going on.
And the thing that you're actually hearing, like the primary dialogue, is something like this, which is like interesting flavor, but doesn't actually.
This operation is pointless. These guys are just gonna storm.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do too, but you're not supposed to. You're supposed to actually listen for the dialogue.
How could the president authorize an escalation of the
And the other thing too is that sometimes they are actually subtitled, but then it will just say Ocean Ground, and I'm like, I don't know which company that is,
I thought I could believe in him back then.
right?
I had no idea he was such a
Or the dialogue won't specify. It'll just be like, oh, the bunker's opening fire again. Requesting air support. It's not like this is company
Attacks
B.
can only silence the bunkers temporarily.
This is extremely unhelpful. This mission is awful.
Ground forces.
pillboxes are getting smashed
Kind of.
by those air attacks.
Or not.
Damn, it's like they're plowing the ground with bullets. Don't get hit, Terry. I still got something I gotta tell you.
I know, messenger boy. You hang in there too. Chopper, box 2. Damn it, the enemy's destroying our positions with air attacks. Attention, overhead aircraft. This is the ground forces. Make sure you don't drop any bombs on us.
I don't bring bombs. I bring missiles. Don't know if you don't understand about that.
Lost contact with the left flank. Believed to be overrun.
Subtitles are witty humor and exposition while the background is help the bunkers attacking us. Exactly.
Requesting immediate close air support.
I mean, mostly. Right? Occasionally it does properly show, but
Requesting air bombardment.
and that said, that was OCNC, but that time it was subtitled, but the dialogue doesn't include the
Make it a good one.
company name. And so if you're distracted, right, like, sometimes it can be really hard to fly and read the subtitles, especially for some players. Right, I just wish it would, like, do a little better.
Insubordination is grounds for a court-martial. I don't care. I'm not gonna take any more orders from that guy.
Like, did you hear the requesting immediate close air support in the background there? Because it was in there.
We're too slow. They're gonna get us.
The captain's here with us. Don't disappoint him. Right, let's do it.
Are the pilots who suck the Synfax mixed
I mean, I wasn't reacting to it, but, like, it was in there. I don't understand why those don't take priority.
Oh, it's losers again.
Also, honestly, as much as I hate 4 Horsemen, because it's a terrible mission, I actually wish that this mission were more like 4 Horsemen. Right, that, like, requires synchronous attack. Because in this case, it's just, like, time your attacks with the ground forces. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, right? Like, there's no level of precision. Right? Like, I guess the assumption is, you know, like, attack as soon as possible, but that's not explicit, right?
Captain's last job, one to remember. This is Ruben. We owe you one. Marching to the sound of air support bombings. Pretty fitting for the captain.
3 bunkers remaining. The area is secured. Thanks for the support.
It's kind of nice to have friends down below.
Like, I just wish that there were more indication of, like, oh, you have to destroy this within the next 15 seconds. Right? Like,
Knock them back into the ocean.
that's a game mechanic thing. Like, that doesn't make any sense in the case of the story. But as a game, like, that's something I want to know.
Companies A and B currently engaging enemy bunker.
Did you know? My older brother's down there.
What? You should have told me that earlier, you moron. Where is he?
I don't know. They all look the same.
Requesting immediate close air support.
I got you.
C and D will begin their assault after bomb impact.
Okay, well that would be now.
Fox 2.
You'd be frustrated because you'd want to ignore the subtitles but never know when it's the ones requesting help.
Enemy landing confirmed. Request permission to
Like,
fire.
most of them don't matter. And to be honest, none of them matter because you can always just watch the radar. Right, because they usually appear on radar before the dialogue happens anyway, right? Like,
We take a detour here, they'll nail us from the rear.
there's the requesting close air support line again. Completely at the bottom of the mix.
Blaze, Fox 2. Shack on the target.
Yeah, someone's asking for help with a main character subtitle talking about his brother. I mean, to be fair, that's interesting story character development, right? Like, knowing that Graham, Archer, Warlock 4, has an older brother who's in the army, and he looks up to him a lot, and he's why he went into the military, right? His brother inspired him to join the military as well.
Don't stop.
Like, that's good character development. But, like,
Bullets don't all come from the front.
2 bunkers remaining.
I like the flavor, that this dialogue gives. But it doesn't work when a lot of the other dialogue is functional. Right? Most of the time in these missions, right, most missions aren't, like, dialogue-centric. Or the dialogue just isn't plot relevant most of the time. Occasionally. But most of the time the dialogue is just there for flavor. And I think that's fine. But in this mission they're trying to do both. It doesn't work as well.
I just want to blow this thing up and go home. This is the worst day ever.
That said, I don't think we actually know Grimm's brother's name.
Enemy amphibious force has begun advancing. Bunkers opening fire again. Retreat! Retreat! Warning! You're being spiked by enemy radar! We're getting surrounded, damn it!
It's just a weird placement. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Tank destroyed! Enemy advance contained!
it would be annoying. But the thing is that Ace Combat 4 actually had superseding dialogue. Like, it had dialogue priorities. If you remember the mission Tango Line, the one where we're, like, flying through the mountains, destroying that, like, military base within Stonehenge's range. And the other ISAF forces are like, what did they expect us to do? Fly through the mountains? And it's like, no, there's a lot of open space, it's fine. Sky Eyes... Sky Eye's announcement that Stonehenge's attack is imminent always cuts off. It just completely interrupts whatever dialogue is currently happening. Right? And in fact, this game has that too.
Attention all forces. All bunker silence.
I think the burst missiles do that in general, but as a very specific example,
All right, things are a bit calmer now. What's on your mind? Hey, Scott.
in
Hey, chill out, Dad.
Mission 7, Frontline,
What? You're kidding me, right? Not at all, buddy. You got a bouncing baby boy.
when you destroy that 8th ship, and you move from Phase 1 to Phase 2, right? So when the Sinfoxy fires its first missile. Nagase interrupts, right? Missile away from enemy sub. And the music changes. Right? That interrupts whatever dialogue is happening before it. And so, like, this game has the ability, clearly, to do overlapping or interrupting dialogue. Why don't they just do it for that radio chatter? Right?
War Dog launch.
Now, it'd be really annoying in that mission because, well, they ask for help a lot, right? And so basically all of the dialogue would keep getting cut off. Although there's nothing stopping you, I suppose.
Hey, kid, did you take a listen to that song? Yeah, that bass in the
There's
chorus
nothing
is great
stopping
too, huh?
you as a developer from making it so that the
Engaging.
Blaze, engage.
Whoops.
mission critical dialogue
Due to current circumstances, we have been forced to set
right, like the mission objective dialogue, right,
our true enemy here is the Yuktobanian military.
from always taking priority and always being subtitled, but then just any of the dialogue that would get cut off, don't cut it off, just make it quieter, right, so it continues to play under the ground forces. Right, you don't have to remove it entirely.
Unbelievable! We gotta bag all these planes?
You think every enemy plane in the area is up and flying?
Well, let's ask them. Hey, how many planes you got there? Man, this is making me cry.
Report from the Eloy, picking up something on radar.
There's way too many signatures on radar. Kid, knock
to say. How about you guys?
My radar is showing strange results as well.
Battle between giving player character development and mission objectives. Yeah, the balance is weird.
Does the enemy have a tally ho on us yet?
Aha! I think I figured it out.
Well, do share your keen insights,
Yes.
will you please?
Please share your keen insights so that I can actually lock onto
Jammer
this.
aircraft.
So, it's a trick?
How could this be? Our new jamming devices are supposed to be perfect.
Okay, I feel better now. Ghosts aren't so bad once you figure out the trick behind them.
Where are the jammers? They've got to be
The fact that I'm
somewhere
in
close.
front of some of them
Let's
is
take care of
not
them
ideal.
first.
Don't let the jamming confuse you. Repeat, don't let the enemy's jamming confuse you.
The radar's back online. What? We're totally exposed flying like this. Calm down.
Where's
Just
this
leave
one?
now we're on equal footing.
The enemy radar
I'm wasting a lot of
disappeared.
time because it
Several
refuses to
reports.
lock onto this one and tell me what altitude it is. I mean, which to be fair, it's down here, so that's kind of sensible,
Damn, our cover's totally
but only slightly. Oh my goodness, that's awful.
planes are gonna make it to the base. We wish to work hand in hand harmoniously with the citizens of Yuktobania for this operation. I've instructed our soldiers to follow this wish to the letter. Therefore, I ask you, citizens of Yuktobania,
This is a really bad attempt at this.
join us.
Hey, you think it's gonna be that easy? I don't think so either.
Enemy jamming wave. Interference.
This is the 8492nd leader. All 8492nd units proceed as planned.
See, the 8497 showed up.
Last plane confirmed shot down. All enemy transports and jammers in the local airspace have been eliminated.
And that should probably say something about how terrible that was on the PR run. Like the fact that we still finished 3 seconds under. Thanks for the follow, Pat Mats. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, like we finished that 3 seconds under the 347 run time that I had, but it was still like something like 35 seconds, or like 32 seconds below or above.
Can't believe we flipped a
Oh,
coin
gosh.
for this mission. This isn't funny, man.
This is the airport control tower. Emergency alert. All planes cancel takeoff clearance. All approaching flights change course immediately.
Just because of that one transport
Change it to
plane
where?
that I couldn't find and then couldn't shoot.
A high-speed aircraft just passed by us 600 yards away. They're Allied fighters taking off on an emergency mission. All flights be heads up for mid-air collisions. A fighter? I thought the war was over on the West Coast.
I mean, it is, except
This place is. I'm choking up here.
Which squadron was that, do you think?
evil transport moves in a speedrun.
Air Defense Squadron. The enemy has
Yeah.
unleashed chemical weapons in a college town 400 miles from the airport.
I mean, to be fair, it was really low. So the fact that the game didn't want to target it is kind of sensible, right? Because
So which one's
it wasn't on screen, and it was at a really awkward altitude. But at the same time,
the other side of the coin is bad news too, huh? I know, kid. I won't neglect
it should eventually cycle into it. Because it was on radar.
Enemies on the IFF.
where? Down below? On the ground?
This is Airport Control Tower. Military transport planes parked on the runway. State your squadron number and call sign.
This is Capital District Air Command. We haven't deployed any Allied military transport planes to civilian airports at this time.
tanks coming out of transport planes. They're firing. It's the enemy. Enemy forces inside the airport.
Not entirely sure why Grim is like, look at all the enemies on the IFF. They're not marked as enemies.
Did you hear that just now? This is the middle of Osea. How can they be attacking here?
Oh,
Look at that transport's wreckage.
that chopper dropped a bomb and destroyed a bunch of stuff for me? That was nice of him.
Never mind. Just destroy the tanks and transport plane. Don't let them cause any more damage here.
It looks like we were tricked. They were really after the airport.
All units, commence attack. The target must be completely destroyed. Give it all you've got.
Yeah, like the fact that I actually have them using special weapons,
Everything was fine.
or allowing them to use special weapons, came in handy for once.
Blaze, we can't lose any time here. We have to hurry.
Alright, let's hurry.
Right. Let's hurry.
Those two need to be different characters.
Enemy attacks getting fierce.
Oh my goodness.
Passengers, please do not run inside the terminal hallways. We urge you not to panic. Please stay calm and evacuate the
I am
area.
surprised that that actually hit both of those turrets.
Damn it, nobody's listening.
Chopper to Kid. We just need to protect this airport facility, right? This is Chopper. Roger that. I'll do my best.
Attack the airport facilities, as well as any civilian planes in the air. Do something about this.
I'm gonna appreciate it if you don't shoot the civilian planes. Like, I realize that you're doing this in retaliation for us having done that, but I would appreciate it if you didn't do that.
Careful using our missiles.
This is Flight 417. We've been in holding pattern for hours. We're on emergency fuel.
It's too dangerous. I can't give you clearance to land right now.
Tell that to my fuel tank. Can't you help us land here?
This is OWA Flight 783. We're running out of fuel, too.
Are you listening to me? This is war here. The freight terminal's getting shot at. Damn it! This is a civilian airport.
Oh, come on.
Then again, we did sort of do the same thing to them over in their territory.
And it wasn't us, it was the 8492nd.
Enemy forces annihilated. Airport control tower, what do you say?
Or, at the very least, people they were associated with.
Affirmative. Enemy defeat confirmed. Give our thanks to your aces up there.
Roger. Operation complete.
Come on. Just this empty dead space. Can you imagine if someone actually found a way to skip these post-mission dialogue scenes? If, like, the game just started fading out as soon as the mission accomplished thing went off?
War Dog, launch.
Like, we would literally save 36 minutes, I think. Because, like, my PR time is 3:47:16, right?
Jeez.
That's not some of best, but that's, like, the fastest finished run that I have, right? That 3:47:16.
Rock and roll.
The in-game time, so just the bit that the in-game timer was running, right? So that doesn't include menuing, or loading or anything,
This is Thunderhead.
but that was 3 hours 11 minutes.
Fly somewhere where I didn't have to listen to that voice.
So not all of that,
Yesterday.
not all of that is post-mission dialogue, although
Arriving into a target area shortly.
that certainly is a chunk of
I
that.
don't want to listen to that interrogation.
Right, so I estimate that we'd probably end up saving like 15-20 minutes.
The actual armory is located in an underground shelter. Fire missiles into the tunnel and destroy it from the inside.
Kid, it has to be straight on or your missiles won't make it inside. Understand? Okay, well,
Yeah. like, I think a conservative estimate is 10 to 20 minutes. Or, like, a reasonable estimate. Is that we could save at least 10 minutes just by finding a way to skip that dialogue.
Shockwave from the explosion.
The armories in this area have been destroyed.
And probably more. Right, probably 15. At least. A good chance it's 20. You know?
Here comes a shockwave. The ammo dump's blown up.
But I don't know how to do that.
Now left a crater as big as those ones on the roof.
All armories
Right, so
destroyed.
45.
Mission complete. Return to base.
Right, so the mission accomplished went off when my timer said 1:25:45.
Nagase. You gotta say that with a little more feeling. At
So
least
we'll
we
see
have to
how
go
long
home
this
today,
one is.
right?
Yeah.
So, cheer up a little, huh?
You too, Chopper.
That's 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
40. 43 seconds between when the mission accomplished tone went off and when the screen finally faded out. There's so much time. Now that is a fairly long one, right? But it's so bad. Right. Or one of the reasons that PS4 is its own category, or emulator is its own category, is load times, right? I am playing physical hardware on a PS2. You know, the load times are not always fantastic, right?
War Dog, launch.
But it is indeed extraordinarily slow.
Pilots, check your plane and
Right. Like, this segment is a minute in, and I just gained control of my plane. Right, so there was a full minute between when I hit next mission and when I actually took control of my plane.
I'm getting chills. This northern sea is where the demon of Rosgreaves came
In
from.
that subsequent mission.
Raspberries.
Huh. There's no way that could have been the Rosgreaves.
Hold your chatter. Commencing combat procedures shortly. Maintain radio
Like, there is
silence.
so
Guess I'll cut
much
off the mic
dead
and try
time
talking
in
to
this run.
myself.
And you could argue that this is also currently dead time. Never really notice how much time games is filled with nothing until you speedrun it. Exactly. Because, like, I like this game a lot, right? I don't actually have an issue. Like, if I'm playing casually, I have no issue with the dialogue. I don't think the post-mission dialogue is really that annoying. I think the, like, extra 4 or 5 seconds after the last dialogue before the screen fades out is mildly annoying. It's like, okay, you're done. You're literally done, and you're not bugging out. But I don't have much issue with it. But speedrunning?
Status on enemy sub unknown.
This game is so full of nothing happening. Right, a lot of the missions are too. Right, I am currently waiting. I'm literally just waiting for this infect state to resurface.
Transmitting target coordinates. This is Rinfaxi. We cannot comply. We are unable to launch missiles underwater due to battle damage.
What's the point of your existence if you don't fire now? They're penetrating our defense lines as we speak. Hurry up before they overrun our allies.
Emergency
Which, like, sure, from a casual perspective is fine. I think it's important. I think from a pacing perspective even, right? It makes sense. And, you know, it's world building. It's explaining plot. Like, Right, you have to explain what the submarine is doing. I got completely screwed over by the targeting again.
They might think they snuck up on us, but they're dead wrong.
Like, there were 2 separate occasions in there where it wanted to target something else. It's in the game for a reason, but doesn't help speedrunners. Yeah.
Maybe someone's trying to tell us that our time is up.
Well, that's why I say, like, this game is not designed for speedrunning. It's a good game. I like it a lot. I like the fact that the speedrun for it isn't very precise. Slash optimized, right? The fact that the game is slow means that you're not super reliant on being in precisely the right place at the right time. And executing a lot of intricate setups, especially in a game this long. Right? Being able to do intricate setups consistently in a situation like that would be really hard. So the fact that you can do a lot of this run like on reaction, right? You just shoot stuff as it appears, right? Is really nice. It makes this a lot less stressful, right? The speed run isn't memorize a whole bunch of these tricks or positionings or maneuvers or whatever. It's know where things spawn and play well. And a lot of that is that the dialogue makes this super inefficient. Right, like, I don't have to memorize exact bearings on the compass. It's like, I don't know where these planes spawn. They spawn somewhere over here. Right? Could I memorize the exact angle that I would need to travel? Yeah. But I don't have to. And that's good, because I don't want to. Right? I wouldn't think that'd be fun. It's like, I know roughly where they spawn, and that's enough, right? I can react because, you know, we're gonna save like half a second or something. But you're not gonna be able to do it that consistently. It would be interesting to see a task. But I am not a task.
This is Toby. We're monitoring the camp from the radio room. Everything's quiet so far.
It looks like a fun game and you want to try it yourself? You should!
Does it seem like the enemy craft have noticed our infiltration?
You heard our captain. Relax. Just wait there at the camp.
Roger. We've cut off the enemy's
I mean,
lines
it's
of communication here.
kind of ruined by the fact that you've seen it like 12 times at this point, but, you know, no big deal. Right?
I can't shake the feeling that we're being watched. Hey,
There's no turn.
behind that
There would be no more turn.
You don't think they found us out and surrounded us already, do you? I heard some you bastards talking to each other, I swear!
We can
But it is
figure
a fun
out the number of remaining enemy planes from our pre-flight data. Let's see. There are 5 planes left.
Sure. I don't think there are 5 planes left. I think there are 3. Alright, so my XAAM hit one of them. There are 5 planes left. Actually, Chopper, there are only 3. I just shot 2 of them down.
I knew we could count on you. Okay, we're going to get everyone out of here.
Alright, I've mopped up the enemies in the area. You can call
No,
in
you
the
haven't.
taxi now.
You didn't shoot any of them.
Roger. We're all set. Bring the helicopter into our position.
This is Sea Goblin. Our ride's here. The ground's still crawling with weapons installations, though, so they can't land. Could you clear them out for us?
I see the POW camp. The man I must... The people we must...
Will shoots down planes faster than the speed of math? Exactly.
We have to suppress
But not AA guns, I missed that one. At some point, like, part of me is tempted. Part of me is tempted to play at least one stream of Assault Horizon, because it's so bad. But I didn't put it on the schedule for this week. I actually don't know a lot about Assault Horizon's gameplay because I haven't played it. I don't think I've made it past mission 3 of the campaign. Like, you know how many times I've played the PS2 games? And then I literally haven't finished more than like 3-4 missions of AH. Like, it's bad. And also weirdly hard because it tests skills that I don't have. But man, it is not on the schedule for this week. Maybe at some point. So I wouldn't recommend that one, but the 3 PS2 games are really good. 6 is alright. 7 is good, although it has its problems. The story is weird and it has some plot holes, and I mean, to be fair, they all do, but 7 feels weird. Based on what I've heard.
I've got a special delivery of bullets here. Where do you want me to drop them off? Got it. Don't you go
Yeah, we got other new stuff on the schedule for this week. I might also stream tomorrow because it's the holiday, so I don't have anything else going on, which is nice. So I get to actually sleep in. Right. I actually get to sleep in tomorrow, and so that means that I can, like, get anything small done that I need to, and so I might stream tomorrow. And if I do, it'll probably be the Long Live the Queen. Which is why Elodie was hiding on the schedule. And then Dishonored on Tuesday in place of Final Fantasy X. I'm not like officially canceling playing FFX. But I've played it twice, and both times I've just been like really frustrated at the game. And I don't want to do that. So we'll play Dishonored, which is in fact the only game that I've ever gotten a platinum for. Believe it or not. I don't tend to trophy hunt. So that should be fun. And then GT4 again, more Long Live the Queen, and then a cute visual novel on Sunday. Which I don't know too much about. I was kind of searching through some stuff today and saw it. It's a LGBT, so it's a Yuri romance paranormal thing, but it had really good reviews. And I was like, that sounds cool. Because I was trying to figure out, like, I have a bunch of VNs I could play. But I was looking through the list of other ones that were on Steam. And so that one was like, that could be interesting. We might postpone that. I might take Sunday off, especially if I stream tomorrow. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't expect to be like super tired next weekend, but I don't know. Like, I'll find out. But hopefully. But at the end seems like it's pretty chill. Because I thought about playing some of the other ones that we have. Right, we still need to finish Blooming Nightshade.
Emergency locator beacon is our connection to Nagase.
And I have a couple short ones.
Hang in there, Nagase.
Right, ones that are only like half an hour, 45 minutes kind of thing. Right, where we could play a whole bunch of them.
Right. I'll try to get a bearing that has a better response.
Kid, do you understand how to view the distress signal sensor on your HUD? Okay, just checking. Make sure you don't miss Nagase's signal.
But I wasn't really wanting to do a bunch of small things.
Enemy planes above. You see them?
Right, like, I didn't necessarily want to play 4 different VNs on that particular day. So this is something a little bit longer.
Did you see someone below us just now? I thought I saw someone moving. Maybe it was just my imagination.
And the ones that I had in that list were like more traditional romance-ian type, or more
Roger, I'm splitting off.
Sea Goblin to War Dog leader. I'm holding.
That's a jammer crack.
VNs with more traditional romances is specifically what I was talking about there.
I've heard that engine sound before.
Nice.
Is that you?
Response up and increasing. She's right around here.
Cut him off up ahead. Don't let him escape.
Nagase, please.
We need the enemy pilot alive. They better hurry, or else the enemy will get to him first.
Him? Thank you. Nagase's not a him, but okay.
This is Sea Goblin. War Dog, have you found her?
The VNs have all been fun so far. Which ones have I played?
Roger.
Because I think it's just...
Eyes. We'll move in for the rescue.
what, Blooming Nightshade and One Arms the Queen?
Enemy fighters for us. We need to make sure this
Have I
place...
played other ones that I don't remember?
Too slow, man.
Don't worry. We'll take your princess back to base safely.
You do that, and I'll worship you guys. Whoa! There's still enemies on the ground.
I do want to play DDLC Plus at some point as well,
Is she all right?
but I haven't.
What are you gonna do if the enemy catches her?
Calm down. We're going as fast as we can.
Did you find Captain Nagase?
This is Sea Goblin. We're moving to the scene as fast as we can. Let me know when you've confirmed Captain Nagase's position.
Like, I have other ones that I want to play in general, but also, again, they are
Take any chances.
stories with more traditional romances, and that
Just have to count on you if that happens.
requires me to have a certain patience and perspective that I haven't had recently.
Fighters! They're coming this way!
This is Sea Goblin. The enemy's targeting
Like,
us.
to want to play, like, traditional
Nagase. Is she alive?
traditional cishet
Why don't you
stuff.
rescue her and see for yourself?
It's like, you get to deal with the fact. Like, anytime we do romance related stuff, right? You get to deal with my fun perspective on romance, and
6 miles.
you're stuck with it.
Fox 2.
Enemy force advancing. Can you take them out for us?
Right, when I think it was the first Long Live the Queen stream, right?
That's definitely her.
Or maybe it was the second one, right? When we were doing the coronation, and it was like, who are you going to marry? It was like, no one, which didn't surprise you at all, right?
For us, okay?
And I was curious. I didn't ask at the time, but I was kind of curious, like, under what condition you would have expected me to say, yeah, I'll marry this person.
Don't take them on by yourself. Climb and fight from above.
It's like, yeah, of course I'm not marrying any of these, right? I'm not interested in your traditional, like, like, your traditional forced prince-princess marriage. For politics? No. Right, so that also definitely has a play in, like, which games I play as well. Right? It's like, I'm gonna play a romance VN, you're gonna get one that I actually care about the romance in.
These guys are too good.
Don't feel awkward about.
We go head on.
Sea Goblin arriving at designated point momentarily.
Chopper, Fox 2.
the end was really funny with the Oblivious main character. She really was. She had some like, she wasn't always oblivious. She had some genuinely good moments. If I were doing a classic royalty, yeah, that would be one. And to be fair, I did marry Adair. Right, that second coronation that I had. I did marry Adair, although the game seemed to forget that.
Say, Blaze, I think that song would be perfect for a time like this, you know? Yeah, face of the coin. I love that song.
Yeah, marrying strictly for politics. If any of the interesting girls had been options, I might have taken them. Right? Juliana was in a relationship with Celine, right? So she wasn't an option, regardless. But that could have been... Like, that could have been interesting. Because it was part of, like... You know, I took the scandalous options at the party, right? I danced with Juliana, I danced with Bryn. It's just like I refuse to get stuck in this sit-het relationship. Dynamic, if at all possible. The scene in Night Shift where she walked on her friends going on a date. Yeah, I mean, she did do that. I forget who it was. I don't remember the characters super well. But it was like the senior and the freshman, right? Or the sophomore, and the slightly older student and the freshman girl. Just like, yep, how's it go? Oh, you're on a date. I see. Well, let's continue chatting. Protect, girl. Please. Please don't. But she did have some genuinely good moments, too. We still need to finish that. There's still a route and a half that we haven't seen.
What did you just say?
Our target is the enemy's field HQ. Initiating bomb run. Viking 1 to support fighters. Requesting escort to target.
Hawk Division, begin your advance. Target enemy airfield.
Right? Because there's yeah, there are 3 routes we haven't seen. One girl, both friendship and romance, and another girl, just the friendship route, I think. Or we did just the romance, did just the friendship route, so we need to see her romance route or vice versa. Please, protection, read the front. Like, I don't claim to be amazing at reading social cues, but that one is glaringly obvious. It doesn't really stand. I just don't remember exactly which ones they were. And part of that is I don't remember the characters super well. I have it written down.
Our bombers are taking fire. Where are the escorts?
Calling the approaching Allied planes. We can't protect the bombers completely. Please lend us your aid.
Right, so if we did a VN stream, right, like a... If we did a multi-VN stream, right, we'd probably finish Blooming Nightshade, we'd do 2 of the, like, 30-minute ones. The last or second to last we weren't really fans of. Yeah, so there were 2 issues. One, there was the one girl, I think her name was like Akio or something. And she was a character we really didn't like at first. Her arc was about bullying. Right? And she was definitely not a very likable character at first, but she became a lot more likable through her story. But then there was the other girl, who was a lot more likable, but her arc was a lot more sexualized. Was the problem we had with her. So it wasn't that it was bad, I just felt uncomfortable a lot of that. Like, I genuinely don't feel comfortable reading this dialogue out loud, you know? And it's like, I can skim, so I can read it in my head and just kind of... Like, I'm a pretty fast reader, so even with the text progressing and kind of half mashing through dialogue, like, I can at the very least skim all of it. So, you know, I'm not concerned about missing the story. Like, I'm not reading this dialogue.
Don't take them on alone. You'll be throwing away your life. Enemy plane sighted. Watch out.
But I don't remember that character being super obnoxious or anything. Or super unlikable. And that's again how I kind of feel about Emi from Katawa Shoujo as well. I really like Katawa Shoujo, and I really like Emi. Emi's my favorite character. I think she and Hanako have the best stories. And Emi is the one I got naturally, like without looking at guides and stuff, because I didn't 100% it, but I did get every ending, right? I didn't get every scene, but I did get every ending. And that involved, that involved looking at a guide, decision tree, and whatnot. But Emi was the one, I think I got Emi's neutral route. I really like her, but my goodness are some of her scenes bad. Right? Like, in ways that even the other girls aren't. Shizune definitely has some awkward ones that I'm not a huge fan of.
This is Viking 1. Everything on schedule so far.
This is Hawk 1. Currently under light enemy attack. No hindrance to our advance. You got that? Keep up the close air support. Over.
But Emi's still my favorite. Like, despite that.
The desert heat is robbing the ground forces of their mobility.
Will we complete the mission in time at this pace?
Yeah, we already have, Grim.
I hope you're right. If we get bogged down, it'll affect our allies' advance.
Emi, we've talked about Emi before.
Operation proceeding smoothly. Victory is just a matter of time now. Continue sweeping up the remaining.
She's the fastest girl with no legs. Right, she's the one whose disability is having her legs amputated because undisclosed reasons.
Our allies are taking significant damage.
And she's the one whose writer was stuck with a scene. He was like, I don't know how to do this without being awkward, so I'm just going to embrace that and make it as awkward as physically possible. Which is why it is incredibly awkward. Also, this bomber's a lot closer than I thought it was.
Take care of yourself, Hans.
But she's really cute. I like her a lot. Because even though I think she has the most age scenes of any of the characters, they're all, and none of them are like super critical to the story. Like, her entire character is really like happy and upbeat and playful.
Say, kid, do you recognize those voices from below?
That army unit.
I like her.
They were in Operation Footprint, too. I'm glad they made it this far.
Target hit.
Well, she's bright and cheerful and whatever, except for the few moments where she's not, and those really stand out, right? They're great contrasting scenes.
Don't you dare fall behind the other squads! The guys in the air keep saying that the Rosgrees are up there. You're kidding. Really?
I need to figure out how to do Discord streams, though, so that we actually play Chaos at some point.
Grim, watch my back.
Got it. I'm covering you.
Do whatever it takes to maintain your current course.
She's best friends with Rian. Gorizont. And the thing about Emmy is that she's missing both of her legs. And the thing about Rian is that she's missing both of her arms. And so between the two of them, Rian and Emmy have all of their limbs. Which, on the face of it, is a joke made in bad taste, but it's actually one that they make themselves, and so it's fine. They're actually not roommates, but they live like across the hall from each other or something, down the hall. And they were basically introduced to each other when they moved in, being like, hey, you should meet this person. Emmy often helps Rian get dressed. And so on. So Rian is interesting, for sure. She is a character that I certainly couldn't write. It's a very interesting character.
Can you find your brother's position on the battlefield, Grim?
Sir, we can't pick favorites. Everyone down there needs our help.
It really is, because there's a scene, there's a scene late in Rian's route where, spoilers, there's a scene late in Rian's route, where she and Hazal are dating, Hazal being the protag, and she gets caught out in the rain. Which is a fairly Rian thing to do. And so she gets stuck out in the rain, and normally she would like, so she comes to Hazal's room to be like, can you help me dry off and change? And he's like understandably uncomfortable about it. It is one of the H scenes for the route. But Rian specifically doesn't go to Emmy because she knows that Emmy would just fuss over her for like an hour. And it's like, Emmy can be really fussy, or like really attentive and caring and whatever, but like I don't have the patience for it sometimes. And it's like the way that Rian talks about Emmy in that way, right? It's like, I know she cares about me, but the way that she does, like the amount and way that she does is like, I don't know. I'm not doing a good job describing it. So yeah, it is a really cute
I see the airfield. Prepare to fire. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine. Here's the last one. Make it pretty.
Well, did we hit it? Look at all this anti-aircraft fire.
There's an H scene in Emmy's route where like Emmy and Hazal are in her bed and Rian just like comes in completely oblivious, doesn't realize what's going on, and the only reason she came in is because she wanted to watch a cloud that was passing out the window and she couldn't see it from her room, so she barged into Emmy's. And it's just like, okay, Rian, I guess that's fine. I don't think Rian realized what was happening, but even if she, like, you wouldn't have been able to tell, and if she did realize, she didn't care. Like, now, whatever.
You want to switch? That's fine with me too.
The tanks have made their way out onto the runway.
It's hopeless. There's
And so she just like barges into the room and is like, I was trying to watch this cloud. It looked like a whatever, right? It's like, okay, hi Rian. She's such a weird character.
Get as many
cloud launching is top priority, including barging in on your friends in the middle of, you know, intimate affairs that aren't generally barged to be barged in upon.
This is Viking 1. Bombing run on Field HQ complete.
I mean, the obvious answer to that question is yes, at least from Ian's perspective.
Let's go home.
Roger. Mission complete. Returning to base.
Escort fighters, thanks for all your support.
I'm telling you, Kid could single-handedly turn the tide of this war. It's almost scary.
I could single-handedly... I could almost single-handedly turn the tide of this war. Really, Chopper? You're gonna insult me like that?
In a sauna. I probably lost a good gallon
I
of sweat
almost
by now.
could? What do you mean almost could? I literally have. I'm offended.
What can I do? As long as they're here, we can fight with peace of mind.
You're gonna grab some food? Okay, cupboard. I will still be here. I am sure.
Captain, the deployments at each position appear to be very heavy. Should we concentrate our firepower? Roger. I'll maintain my present position.
Chopper, are you alright?
I guess I'm more delicate than I thought.
7,
I was
6,
fading out for a while
5,
there, but I'm still good.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Thunderhead. Enemy AWACS detected. Destroy it and maintain our air superiority over the battlefield.
I'll get the one with the dish on his back.
Yeah, that would be the Jammercraft. That's literally a Mark's TGT.
Man, Kid's skills are well beyond my reach already.
Eliminate the enemy air power and secure air superiority over the area.
We need all your cooperation to refuel everyone safely. Enemy AWACS shot down. The enemy's air
That
forces
was
are falling
optimal.
apart.
It's
All
gonna
right,
have to be good
mission
enough.
complete. Return to base.
Blaze.
Not optimal, but we made up time and we actually stayed, made it back to 2 minutes. I would love to pull a 217 down.
War Dog, launch.
To be able to come in sub 345.
I'm proud to be able to fly like this.
This is a ceremonial flight. Watch your manners, Kid.
Like, obviously any improvement is improvement, and I'm not gonna complain.
Just try to hold
But
your plane in formation.
being able to come sub 345 seems like a pretty good landmark.
It's time. Begin your ceremonial flight.
You can get some really silly speeds doing this. Welcome back, Cupboard. Look at how fast we're going.
Captain, you're falling out of formation.
I lost a bunch of speed doing that though. Have you seen the
Blaze, hold the center of the formation. It looks like it's shifting a little away from center.
I just made it up to 3,000 miles an hour. Have you seen the video called "We Have to Go Faster"? I think is what it's called.
The formation's falling apart. That's you, Kid.
I'm not going to space. I'm not actually making it above like 35,000 feet. Okay, well, it got talked about during a different AC5 stream. And I wasn't sure if I linked it then. But it turns out that you can get some really great... Oh no, I'm doing weird stuff. I'm sorry, Graham. You can have a lot of fun. I'm not doing a very good job of it. You can have a lot of fun with this speed glitch, right? You could skip off of the altitude ceiling. You can get some crazy speed. I don't remember exactly what the tech is to be able to get more speed. But I do know that eventually the guy disabled ground collision, so he like went and did a cheat to like ignore collision. But he was able to integer overflow the speed. So we found out through that the game stores the speed value as a 32-bit integer, meaning that it's capped at 2 to the power 32 minus 1. And so he went like 2,187,000,000 blah 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 miles per hour. That's fun. He like, and I think he went even faster too, and he ended up having like this ridiculous negative speed. Good job.
So we're on our own until then?
Yeah, it was really silly. Now, to be fair, that required disabling ground collision, so you can't do that base game.
Are you saying the enemy's invaded this far inland?
Because the problem is you bounce off the ceiling,
Head for this stadium.
right, and you start heading down, and if you're going that fast, you pretty much instantly hit the ground.
Were they listening to the speech too?
Is this the Yuke's way of expressing their
So,
opinion of the speech?
We're being pushed back.
the answer is yes, you can go really fast.
One ain't shot down. Damn Rosgreaves.
I can't dodge it! I was sure I was gonna get skewered by that missile.
Your objective is to keep civilian casualties as low as you possibly can.
Well, we're gonna keep it to 0. Is that low enough?
Our allied planes will deal with the unknown aircraft. Start escorting the crowd. We'll evacuate the vice president through the boiler room on the eastern side.
Open the entrance gates. Get the people on the first floor out that way.
Once they're out, get them as far away as possible. All right, let's think about our priorities here. But who are they after? The crowd? The vice president?
Evacuation has begun.
No wonder they're winning. No wonder OC is winning. They have the ability to travel at multiple like that's pretty sure that's faster than the speed of light.
Take out those enemies.
I don't remember the speed of light in miles per hour, but I'm sure that's faster.
Run him down, man! I can't dodge it! Our air defense system's a wet paper bag. How can the
Yep,
enemy
do you not
penetrate so
remember?
far inland?
Do you not remember Mission 8?
Just as we were briefed, there's only 4 of them. That may be enough. These are the Rosgreaves after all.
I feel like we're being sent to die as some sacrifice.
I mean, the Ukes haven't won a battle,
Line and guide everyone out.
Can you evacuate the VIP boxes
right?
first?
Like, the Ukes literally haven't won a battle since they declared war.
Missile hit! This is Chopper.
That might not actually be true.
Too many. Too many. There's too many.
But regardless...
Damn, I forgot to keep track of how many planes I shot down.
3 more minutes.
Right, because I don't know how many operations there were that we just weren't taking part in.
This mission. 1-6, watch yourself. Let your captain hear that. You can thank those damn warmongers for all this.
If you're gonna attack the vice president. The rest of us just want peace.
You think? Yeah, I mean, this is 17, so mission 18 they'll lose.
Kid, this is Chopper. Are the reinforcements close? Sounds like we'll have to hold out a little bit longer. Damn it, they could stand to be
Right.
a little more punctual.
But they have actually successfully defended that fortress twice. Like, we're coming in on the third Ocean offensive. So, we know that they do win battles.
Reason for the evacuation? Just make up something.
Again, how do you not know that there's a giant air battle above the stadium?
2 minutes until Allied reinforcements arrive.
Civilians, how are you not...
Pass the baton.
How are you not aware of what's happening?
Attention all units approaching River City. I guess they had us going too.
What? Who is this?
Am I the only one who finds it weird that AWACS doesn't know who's talking on the radio, and yet our radio very clearly marks it as 8492nd leader?
Restore communication link.
The Allied planes aren't coming. What's going
Our radio's like, oh yeah, that's Ashley Burnett.
Hang in there.
And AWACS letterhead is like, who is this?
Bases are responding to me. What don't you understand? There's an air battle above the stadium.
Hey, Gorizont, do you want to actually spawn properly this time?
There's still people in the general admission seats.
Who is this? Waiting for 92nd later?
New enemy formation detected.
Hey look, Gorizont spawned correctly-ish.
inbound to the stadium?
They're dead set on crushing us, both physically and politically.
Gorizont 1. The sky isn't sanitized yet.
It doesn't look like they spawned normally, but they did spawn properly.
Commencing attack on the stadium.
So that's good.
Are you alright? You've been hit.
Nah, it's nothing big. I'm not wounded. I ought to be able to keep this plane in the air a little longer. Besides, planes are expendable, right, kid? I know. This plane and I are both coming back. Don't worry so much.
That should take care of all three of those. Except this front one.
How much time has Elite Strike Force wasted against those 4 planes?
Chopper, can you bail out?
Well, that's kind of difficult right now.
All airborne aircraft, do not return to base. November City is still under attack. This is not a drill. Repeat.
There's nothing but houses down below. I can't
And
leave
actually,
this
this
plane
is
yet.
middle one.
Kid, you see any place where I can drop this plane? Way to go,
Yeah,
Captain. So
the
where?
river.
All enemy stealth fighters, confirmed
These
destroyed.
$1 million planes are expendable. I mean, the F5 I got for free. I didn't pay for it.
A little too late. There goes the radar. My circuits are closed.
Look, forget about it, Chopper. Just bail out. Please, bail out.
And I don't know what the dollar to Zoller
Okay.
conversion is. The Ocean dollar.
This is Thunderhead. Captain
But,
Davenport,
like,
are you all right?
the F-22 I bought for like 26,000 Zoller.
Roger. Now get out.
Like 26,000 credits.
I can't. The electrical system's all messed up. The canopy won't blow.
They are not called Zollers in this game. They are called Zollers in a different game, but I don't remember when that was
Don't give
open.
up. Chopper!
Like, if you look at the wiki,
Chopper!
prices are listed in Zoller.
I'm gonna miss that voice.
Damn it. I hate to say this now, but there's a second enemy wave approaching. All units, engage.
Oh, yeah. I like engaging. Except in mission 18 plus. I don't like engaging in that one.
These guys are
At least not this
demons.
speedrun.
We can take them. All right, engage the remaining enemy fighters. This is the true power of the Rosgraves.
They're no demons. We can take them.
We can still beat them.
It's like they're different pilots. Did the demons take them over?
Different pilots. Did the demons take them over?
Yeah, I don't... I love how quickly the Ukes turn on their opinion. They're no demons. We can take them. Goes to... Yeah, we don't stand a chance. In like 20 seconds. It's like, screw you. You shoot down Chopper, I'm just gonna shoot down a whole bunch of you. And no, the demons didn't take us over, we were the demons the whole time. Right? Like, we are the demons of Rosgreaves. It's not we've been possessed by the demons of Rosgreaves. Other, like, minor detail that I think is interesting, and I don't know if this is true in Japanese as well, but in English dialogue, we're referred to as the War Dog Ghosts, but the ghosts of Rosgreaves.
War Dog, thanks for holding out for us. The
And that just feels like a weird combination.
enemy planes retreating.
Not entirely sure why that was so slow. Like, to lose a full 48 seconds? Oh, okay. Like, I'm not surprised we lost time. I'm surprised we lost that much time.
War Dog, launch.
Pilots, check.
Team cover to Able.
The War Dog Ghosts of Rosgreaves. War Dog is one word, though.
This fortress will not be captured. Go back to your country.
No, the squadron now.
All right then. Let's finish this up quick so we can get
Minor
home to our
detail.
families. Allied forces in the air, listen to me. If the ground forces
Well,
are wiped out, this
the War
operation
Dog
will
Ghosts,
fail.
the ghosts of Rosgreaves.
Priority on
Of course, there's only one person who calls us the War Dog Ghosts.
Archer, engaging.
Edge, engaging.
You know the Sand Island Squadron?
And that's Hamilton.
Supposedly they're the Rosgreaves we keep hearing about. Radio intercept team. Does the enemy have something hidden up their sleeve?
Yeah, the Sand Island Squadron that they literally just mentioned.
From Sand Island, so don't worry about a thing.
This is the final obstacle before the enemy's capital city.
Yeah, about that, Nagasaki.
This place. But after today, I won't have to. I see it. The Colosseum is still in operation. This is the third attempt. Remember, there will be no fourth time.
Enemy ground forces advancing. Another large-scale offensive. This is the third time.
Take this moment.
Ready for takeoff. Remaining aircraft will follow shortly.
They're blocking the way, and they're hungry for blood.
There you go. That's the video link to, We Must Go Even Faster.
It'd be a blast to break it down. Literally.
If we break through here, the capital's just ahead.
Sorry, no visitors allowed. Run along home now.
We'll eliminate the threat near the gate with the help of Sand Island.
I'll launch a close air support effort.
Captain, it's up to you to prioritize the targets for this attack.
All of them.
Allied planes overhead.
They all need destroyed.
Lance Armored Brigade. Requesting orders to penetrate the fortress. All right, roger that.
But yeah, it's a decently long video, but it is a fair amount of like exploration and showing off how silly this is. Because you know he knew the glitch, and so he kind of developed his strategy and got new personal bests and stuff. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Roger. Roger. Nice work.
First barrier cleared. Wow, in record time, too.
Don't crash into the
Great
wall.
view on all sides from here. They can target us no matter where we are. This fortress has turned out to be full of surprises. Keep your takeoff roll short. Begin launch. Climb as steep as you can the moment you're airborne. Use max throttle. We'll get shot down.
You like how I shot down that airplane on the runway?
You've got to carry out your mission.
Enemy planes taking off from Fortress Runway. They're sending reinforcements to launch a counterattack.
Seems a little unfair.
Attack.
Targeting the Rosways and the enemy strike craft.
Quad 12, launch.
Who are the other strike craft? Like, we're the only planes here.
This is Tarantula. We're halfway through the fortress.
If things keep going like this, we just might pull it off this time.
Enemy tanks advancing out of Fortress Gate.
Yeah, no, it didn't get to take off.
The enemy's about to break through.
Missile hit.
Stay calm. Just shoot them down like any other plane.
Yeah, you, but
Enemy
we're
facility
not any other
destroyed.
plane, though.
Those guys can attack from any position. Don't let your guard down. It's them. They're back again. Their attacks are so deadly, it's frightening. I can see how they'd be like demons to the enemy. Defense network destroyed. Damn it. These guys are unstoppable.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They might just overrun us this time.
Looks like we'll be able to enjoy the new year with our families, thanks to Sand Island.
You're welcome.
We're at the northern fortress wall. We're breaking through.
At this rate, we'll be able to make up for all that lost time.
This is Skyland. We're at the fortress exit. Should we go outside? Please advise.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know why you wouldn't say yes.
Bust through here like you're gonna run all the way to Cinegrad.
Like, I don't actually know what advantage saying no would have.
Both sides.
This guy's good. Enemy tank confirmed destroyed.
Those guys are gonna blow away the entire fortress.
If you saw an enemy plane fly under a bridge, shoot my ally tanks, and then fly off, you'd immediately surrender. Right?
The captain's missile hit the target.
I don't think that's a oh, that is a single plasm.
Get the rods.
Yeah, this enemy plane just like shows up and like, just casually flies under this bridge.
He's completely falling apart. Don't give me that. They'll see it to the ground. I've heard of the 4 wings of Sand Island, but I only see 3. Don't you know? Only good little boys can see the 4th one.
Edge, Fox 2. Enemy tank, confirmed destroyed.
Nowhere is safe. For me, either, because I very nearly crashed into that bridge that time. Looks like I'm not gonna make it under, I need to head up, and then panicked and froze for half a second. Went, I'm really not gonna make it over now. I thought I was dead.
Excellent. Hey, send a
I
message
thought
back to
I
the
was
enemy.
dead.
This fortress has been successfully captured.
I wasn't.
We're going
That's
back
the
to our
important
country
part.
real soon.
Made a bunch of time back there. Also because the PR run did that really poorly.
War Dog Squadron, this is Thunderhead. Fly to the tanker for refueling. There is an allied squadron to the east of your position. They'll guide you to the tanker for air refueling.
Yeah, do you see the part where,
We're one
that
step
says
away from the enemy's capital. We can win this as long
an
as you're with
allied
us.
squadron to the east of your position? Who is that allied squadron? This is the 8492nd Squadron.
Today. I can't imagine how wonderful it would be to fly with them in peacetime.
Yeah.
War Dog,
This is the 8492nd Squadron. Can you see us? It'll be an honor for us to escort you heroes. Let's go home.
Yeah, but I'm still wondering what Captain Chopper was doing when...
Yeah, it's fine.
Enemy ECM! Wait a second. That escort plane. Oh no!
The 8492nd Squadron doesn't exist!
Someone in the Army's trying to lead us into a trap. Just like back at the stadium.
Thunderhead! Thunderhead, respond!
Multiple unmarked fighters inbound. Hey, is that their voice on the radio?
You must destroy them. We can't let them end this war.
I mean, you can, actually, just let us win the war. It'd be easy. You just have to do nothing.
The 8492nd Squadron aren't
Let
Devonian
what's
squads?
happening happen.
8492, 8492.
Oh, come on, Grim. There's no way you don't recognize this number.
That's right. When we were helping the President's emergency landing, it was the 8492nd who took our place.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's hurry back home.
Like, I don't understand. Because after... So I think I talked about this last time. But following mission 10, right, the one where we have to shoot down all those transport planes and the jammers, right? The one with the evil transport that knew it was in a speedrun.
This is Thunderhead. Roger,
In that mission, 8492 shows up, right? And they attack a Devonian civilian facility. Right. We don't see it because it happens far enough into the mission that we've already finished the mission by that point. But canonically,
You guys out of here. Stay with me now. Good answer.
the 8492 show up and attack this Devonian civilian facility. And, you know, you're not allowed to attack civilian facilities. Like, that's a war crime. But War Dog is the only squadron who is stationed out there. And so the question is, who, right, who attacked this facility? Right, it had to be War Dog because we were the only people there. Now, of course, Thunderhead asks us at some point during that mission, is like, "I'm sure you didn't do this." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And to a certain extent, I remember the Everything Wrong With video that Sly made. It's like, aren't you watching this? Like, you're the AWACS. You're not, you're... The AWACS in these games is always telling you, oh, you're out of special weapons, you're out of missiles. Like, clearly they're keeping track of what you're shooting.
The ravine is widening up ahead. What's that?
Anyway, shortly after that, we had a hearing in the Capitol about this incident,
A scrapyard.
which I think is understandable, right? We had this hearing,
This is a graveyard for scrap
and
planes.
this hearing takes place in a cutscene, which obviously we skipped for the speedrun, but it involves everybody talking about the 8492nd, and Grimm in particular shouts it at least once. He's the one that we get to see actually talking about him. Talking about it. It's like the 8492nd Squadron, the 8492nd Squadron. And that's when we're told by whoever we're doing the hearing with, it's like, 8492, 8492, is that all you people have to say? There is no squadron in our military with that number. And it's like, oh, okay, well there is, clearly, because we see it a couple times, once in Mission 17 and once in Mission 18 plus.
How did he learn to do that?
He expects us to follow that?
You know, with Ocean planes designated the 8492nd. but I genuinely don't understand how Grim of all people could be like 8492, 8492. I know I've heard that somewhere before. Like, you do realize that this entire story is 3 months long. Right? Like, from the start of the war to the end of the war is like 13, 14 weeks.
I can't even blink. My eyes are drying up.
I think Yuktobania declares war, submission 3. I think Yuktobania declares war, like, September 28th, and the war is over by New Year's. Like, we destroy the SOLG on New Year's Eve. Like,
Yes, sir.
it's late September to the end of December.
That was a close one.
Grim, don't deviate from the course.
I keep forgetting how short the war is. Yeah, it's really short. It's officially longer than the Belkin War, I believe. Or at least the Ace Combat Zero portion of it.
That's it. Those folks sure don't seem to like us very much.
Because GOM is first launched April 2nd
You doing okay?
to defend Philae Air Base.
Yes, but not nearly as okay as you sound.
And the war is officially over by the end of June. And is functionally over by June 6th, which is when the Falcons drop all the nukes. Right.
Is the 8492nd
But I think it takes them a little tiny amount of time to actually sign the treaty and whatnot. So it's like officially over in June.
You need to concentrate. Stay cool.
Now that's not how long ACZ is, because that only gets you to mission 12, but
He hasn't passed out
because you have to deal with like the World War II boundaries stuff, the the rebel forces and the one-liners and such. But right, they're literally. Oh, excuse me. There's nothing that happens
You all ready for this? Sorry.
between June 6th and like December 13th or whatever. Like, between the nukes at the start of June and the XBO attack on Philae in mid-December, there is nothing that happens in that war. It's like...
Flying is incredible.
It, I was gonna say Jeanette, that's not his name. Thompson even says that. Right, the narrator, Brett Thompson. It's like... 6 months. 6 months of nothing. 6 months of void. I focused my attention because I knew that the secret lay hidden there. It's like, no! The secret doesn't lay hidden there. Nothing happened. Except for, Sapin defecting.
only guy we can rely on right now.
Sapin, that's not, Espada.
I can't
Espada Squadron defected from the Sapin Air Force to join our World with No Boundaries. That's the only thing that we know of that happened in those 6 months. Like... So that war is also, like, 4 months long, if you include the World with No Boundary part and skip the 6 months in the middle.
I can fly like that.
AC4 is a year long, though. It's like 53 weeks. Secret isn't lying hidden, just lying sitting down. Yeah, exactly. Have I met, like, apart from, like, 5 minutes ago, have I mentioned the Everything Wrong With videos? That Sly made? Sly Cooper fan one? Did a fan made Everything Wrong With Ace Combat series? He's done 45067. I think he might have also done Assault Horizon.
This is unreal. It's insane.
I saw a message at the corner of my eye. Let me fly through this tunnel first.
How can you fly like that? That's not human.
Yeah, well, I'm not human. Obviously, I'm a demon, remember? What are you forgetting?
You give me way too much credit.
You still need to watch it? Okay. I mentioned him earlier, but... Okay, that's fair.
Keep a wide field of vision. Right.
Because some of the comments that I make during stream,
You've all become excellent pilots.
some of the like criticisms that I make are actually from those.
I can see the exit. There's the open sky on the other side.
The exit! The light's blinding me!
This is Thunderhead. What happened to the 8492nd? We're seeing the traitors on the radar again.
There they are again.
This is Swordsman. I just found them. So now I just shoot him down?
Exactly.
He's not really our enemy.
How do you know this? We do have a proper button, yeah. See, as I said, you can make up time by flying through that tunnel faster. And so that's how you make up time if you're not going to do the skip. Right. I think the thing that like continuously surprises me is that I've never gotten skipped during a stream or during a run.
War Dog, launch.
Right, the fact that I have like 9 minutes of save between like PR and some of best, and it doesn't even include an extra minute 40. But I would just have to practice that skip to get. Oh yeah, I've done it off stream a handful of times.
Captain Snow, I'll be at your 6 o'clock. It's good to be flying with you.
Like, I did a stream years ago. Right, I've mentioned before that I used to stream
First battle after the war
a
began,
little bit,
Chopper, that is,
right,
Captain
as a
Davenport,
caterpillar.
told me you yelled at me for getting in your way. I was still sitting reserve back then.
But I did Ace Combat speedrun stuff, and
You guys should have sight of the castle by now. Sea Goblin's gonna descend for an insertion. So
I actually did a
defense
stream
batteries for them.
where I was practicing that skip specifically.
Take your time and be thorough. You don't want to leave any standing.
So I did a stream. It was like an hour and a half of literally nothing but practicing that. I got it a handful of times.
We'll continue protecting the
I just wasn't
helicopter and
consistent.
infiltration forces.
Because I am not very good at it.
Nixie, you guys drop first and take up an overwatch position of the area.
This is Seagull.
So I can do it,
Captain Nuggets, there.
but just not consistently,
Yeah. Your team rescued me
is
from
the
that
issue.
mountain
Which is
with
why I
a
don't go
snowstorm.
for it in runs.
That helicopter ride was pretty comfy, huh? Hey, you ever want to transfer here? Let me know.
Hey, what happened to that motor mouth? He's real quiet.
Because, you know, it's 2.5 hours into the run. I don't want to risk it, knowing that I'm not very good at it. Right?
This is what the end of the world must look like.
So I think I had like a 30, 35, like a 1 in 3 essentially. Like, I'm trying to remember that, you know, 5 years later, but I think it was about 1 in 3. And that I was able to actually do it. It's not random, like you can
The president himself.
like you can practice it and do it consistently. I just haven't put in that time.
Those are the scars
And so 2.5 hours in,
broken towns evaporated.
right, for a 1 in 3 at minus a minute 40, or
Is dead.
a 2 in 3 at plus 5 minutes or 6. You know,
Dismal
like,
castle standing over a lifeless land.
I just don't go for it.
The wind's pretty strong. Don't let our rotors hit the castle.
And again, there are 5 runners for any percent. New game
Hey, we got a line
on
back here.
console,
Hurry up and
right?
jump.
So like the main category,
Start
right?
shooting somebody.
Any percent new game PS2 version on console. There are 5 of us, and only one has the trick.
Alert is mobilizing reinforcements.
There's only one of us who's actually done the trick in a PR run,
Keep them from getting to the fight. I'm counting on you.
which should probably say
Also
something.
emerging from the castle. Should we split up? Roger. Proceeding with the mission at hand.
This is Kublai. Proceed with infiltration of the castle.
Right? Like, the fact that none of us go for it.
Effort at the castle.
The stone structures inside this castle are quite impressive.
I'll let you guess which one person does have it. And if you guess the world record holder, you would be correct.
The road's blocked by burning vehicles.
The enemy will probably detect us soon enough.
Well, I can't be the only person,
Inside the castle too. Rosgreaves, can you show them some of the same? Thanks. Teach them that it's
because
only
Weird
polite to
Ozzy
respond
already
in
has
kind.
it.
The enemy's probably detected them by
At some point, I really should just sit down and be like, okay, we're gonna practice this.
Engaging enemy in the castle. They
But
got
also,
armor troops too.
I don't want
We just
to.
trashed that expensive-looking portrait.
That line doesn't normally play.
I've got multiple hits on my radar. Enemy
That's an
aircraft
uncommon
inbound.
line.
Fighter jets? Oh, tell me they got their own fighter jets too.
That's affirmative. They're definitely fighters.
Guess they use the money from Ossia and Yuktabania to supply their own forces. Just protect that helicopter.
Hey, fighter jets? Where are they hiding those?
We don't stand a chance against them. Hey, time for you guys to step in. Your car is falling from the ceiling.
You just said they were on crisis art. Yeah, well.
We gotta do something.
As I said, they normally don't say that.
Where did you bastards climb from?
Like, I genuinely don't remember hearing that line.
Watch your surroundings. Keep an eye on your blind spot.
Bravo 3, enemy plane at your 6 o'clock.
And you know I quote this game a lot.
Shoot
I
down the
know a lot of lines from this game. The fact that I don't know that one,
They're not getting through us today. Let's show them what we've got.
By the way, our helicopter's okay, right? Keep that thing safe until we get back with the president. That's his limousine.
yeah, like, to be fair, I hate this mission. But,
Make sure we can pick them up the moment we get the signal. These guys
yeah,
aren't
sometimes I call attention to the lines that I'm quoting, and sometimes I don't.
Well, so this is the legendary Belkin Fighter Squadron.
No, it is a fighter squadron.
I can see muzzle flashes from
The legendary Belkin Air Force, though.
At this close range, we do better using spears instead of guns.
The enemy planes are all heading for the helicopter.
Fox 2!
All right.
Like, the stream title is also a quote. Like, you don't actually see it in-game because it's in a cutscene, but,
I just
like, the stream title is also
enemy fighters acquired. Moving to intercept.
I do it a lot.
Rick, fire back. You can't stay down forever. Damn it! We can't provide any cover for them from here.
Grim, you alright?
I'm fine. I got this area covered.
It's spoken by Bartlett to Nagase after,
Call for reinforcements. They're gonna get away.
I think it's before the first mission, actually.
Who are those pilots?
If we don't defeat the enemy, our forces inside the castle will be in danger.
Come on, Nagase, say my least favorite line. Nagase has a very stupid line in this mission. And I think it's hilarious, but I also am very annoyed by it.
That's because all you're hearing is radio transmissions from our side.
Archer, Fox 2.
Enemy tank confirmed destroyed.
Come on, Nagase.
Be careful. Your bullets will ricochet off the walls.
Are you sure they're all right?
We just gotta trust them and wait. That's part of the job. Damn it. This is it. Fighter on our tail. It's over.
Calm down, man. This one's on your side.
We've broken into the command post. This is the enemy's nerve center.
Watch her just not say it.
We can't protect this area any longer. Waiting orders.
Hurry! The enemy's gonna start using desperate measures soon.
Carry out to cook. You gotta do it. Don't waver now.
Like, the fact that we got the line about the art that I don't remember might mean that we also don't get the line that I very much expect.
Into enemy fire from multiple positions in the castle. We're pinned down over here. Break down part of the wall for us.
Where's the president?
He's right here beside me.
Roger.
We're going to destroy the wall and get the infiltration team out of there. Got it? The area to be destroyed is displayed on your HUD.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not displayed on my HUD. There it is.
That almost fell on top of me.
There we go.
Get out through that hole. Run! The president has escaped. He's been taken by the enemy. The enemy's escaping out of the castle. Get all our remaining teams over there now. If we let the president escape, it's all over.
Surround the president. Run! Run!
Hurry! We'll cover you!
Meteor 7, missile behind you.
Yeah, like you mean it was only
Archer,
it
Fox 1!
just showed up, like showed up with enough time? Yeah, that was intentional. I know that that's stupidly timed, so I know how long it'll take to get roughly.
Don't worry about us. Just take care
And I had a bit of spare space too. I could have slowed down.
The president's strapped in. We didn't leave anything behind, right?
Hurry up and leave the
I'm
area!
not gonna say the line. You didn't have her say it. She's literally just not saying the line that she always says.
We can't attack it. The escorts are in the way. We have the president in our sights. Do something.
Sea Goblin. We'll take on the enemy planes.
We're defenseless in the air. We're counting on you. Is that you? The lady was a pretty
Should I say the line for her? At this point?
What the sky's swarming with enemy planes.
No, there are two enemy or three enemy planes.
So Anderson's realized what's going on behind the scenes too, right?
Just a little bit more. We're almost through.
Oh, you are really close to me.
Take a look at that wounded soldier. I'm all right. Take care of him first.
Target hit! The captain shot down a bandit!
I'm gonna say the line. The line is, all we can do is everything we can. Or all we can do is do what we can with everything we've got. It's like, yes, I'm not gonna say that's how that works.
I appreciate your efforts.
All we can do is do what we can with everything we've got.
I thought so.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that insight. I've learned nothing. That's how tautologies work.
Blaze, begin.
Like, the thing that she's trying to say is the only thing we can do is do our best. Right? Like, all we can do is try. But that's not what she says. All we can do is the things we can do and none of the things we can't. Exactly. Right? But all we can do is try as hard as we can, is essentially what she's saying. And, like, that makes sense. But it's not what she says, right?
Rosgrees, launch!
Yeah, it is worded really weirdly. And it's one of the things that I suspect is less weird in Japanese, but it's weird in English. So that's all I can really say about it.
Blaze, how you feeling? Solo flight.
Because like what she says makes sense. Like that is a genuinely sensible. I mean, it's still a bit
Search radar. The enemy's radar
of a
range is
platitude,
marked out
but
by those circles.
you know, it's a genuinely sensible thing to say, or at least to intend, right? To want to point out, like, yeah, we just have to try our best, and you know, we can't do any more than that. So don't worry so much. Like, calm down, put your head down, and get through it.
It's strictly a recon mission, so you will be unarmed. So unfortunately, you won't be able to destroy
That
the
line
enemy
just
radar.
always makes me chuckle. Be like, that's not.
Maintain radio silence until you reach the destination.
Oh, also, side note, I am doing a slightly different strat than I would normally do.
Make sure you don't get caught within coverage area of the enemy radar. Good luck. We're going to radio silence.
You might notice that this is the Raptor, and not the Hornet. I actually switched planes for this mission. I don't normally do that. The Raptor's faster, though.
Alright, you've arrived over the target area. Cancel radio silence.
The sentiment is true, but also the sentence is... Yeah, I mean, the sentence is a tautology.
Something's being moved from the mine entrance to that transport plane. Okay.
I also guessed on the menuing, because as planes kind of show up,
The camera's triggered by
like, as planes get unlocked, the number of spaces between them changes. I'm like, I'm going to assume these two planes are the same distance apart now that they would be later.
I see some
It's just they were still 8 apart.
and some planes with the Yuktobanian Air Force mark on them. The Belkans are sending aggressors posing as allies over to Yuktobani as well. Alright, let's get a shot of both countries' emblems next to each other for evidence. Now before the two planes take off, capture
Yeah, I've already done the thing, Pops, it's fine. Yep, it's already done.
You won't have many chances to take this photo, so concentrate. Photo received. This is just the evidence.
Yeah, I'm glad this is the evidence we need, because I am now very far away.
They're coming up after you. Shake them off and return home. Make sure you come back through the return line, all right? Takeoff complete. Engaging the enemy. By the way, Blaze, on the way back, you don't have to worry about the enemy radar network. You know that, right? Head straight home and don't wander off. Don't forget that you're unarmed. I swear, I'm gonna report you for your negligence.
Yeah, that might be a good idea, actually.
I knew you'd get back in one piece.
The enemy's withdrawing. Our mission is a success.
Now, before the two planes take off, mission update. Like, okay, I have successfully done the thing. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 6 seconds cleared? Nice. And that includes the fact that I actually had to menu, too. Right, I actually had to menu up 8 planes. We still got 6 seconds clear. Now, I do have to menu back down as well, but...
Rosgrees, launch!
I do wish that this game had the same sort of quick load that Zero has. Like, there's a setting in Zero where you can basically tell it not to load the plane models in the hangar. And so, instead of it loading the plane models, and then you kind of cycling through it the way that you see,
Don't get too cocky.
right, the way that you see me do it in this game. You might remember from one of the, like, after run moments where, or maybe from, like, the New Game Plus strategizing stream that I did. Right. But you can also navigate on a grid. Like, it's possible to hit R1 and then you get a grid of planes that you can navigate through. In Zero, with minimal loading, you can get that screen, essentially. And the thing that's nice about it is that it doesn't make the game load all of the planes, and so actually loading the planes is pretty slow. Right, you might notice there's a lot of lag as I'm cycling through those planes, or as I'm loading the hangar at all. We just don't have that in Zero.
Comrades. In the past, I flew alone to do battle against my own country. But look at you. You've got all your friends here. Don't you think so? Yep, it's a great feeling to know.
It would indeed be very handy. I just don't have it as an option.
They're carrying an emblem I've never seen before.
Was it this game or another where the Japanese titles caused longer loading? It was this one. I mean, I can't confirm that that's what was happening, but it felt like the Japanese had longer load times.
With the nukes.
Maybe we were too late. Let's destroy the mine entrance anyway.
Basically, it just had extra,
Understand? Good. I'm counting on you, Blaze. The bedrock
it just had extra dead space.
is your attacks and keep at it.
The planes have black bodies, origin unknown. These guys managed to shake off the Grabot planes. Be careful.
Here they come. Should we split up and take care of them?
No, we should go home. But yeah, it just felt like there was a lot more loading, like dead space after the dialogue was over.
We finally sealed in those nukes.
And I don't know if that would similarly be true on a Japanese version of the game as opposed to an English version with Japanese subtitles, but it was very strange. So what we need is a clean fight.
Rosgrees, launch!
We need clean navigation around the canyon, and then we need a clean fight against Ufnir. Yeah, that's the thing about this mission. Like, it can go really poorly.
Alert signals as well. Can you hear this?
Right, 24 doesn't do that, but
Identify yourself.
23 and 25
Number of students
can
and
really go
intellectuals are
badly.
staging a resistance against the military government of Yuktobania. You can call me Alyosha. That's not my real name, of course. I'm so glad you actually came. It's just like he said.
He?
We have no time. Let me explain the situation. A physics graduate student from Yuktobania Central University is currently dismantling the nuclear bomb so that it can never be detonated again. We need you to hold off the Yuktobanian forces from entering the ravine until he finishes the task.
Don't let the helicopters approach the canyon.
It feels like the cliff is closing in on us. Flying here is nearly impossible, don't you think so? Well, sure, maybe you're alright, but
I just heard another jet engine.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of ignoring the whole canyon thing.
That's great.
You know, I'm surprised my wingmen haven't yelled at me, being like, Blaze, oh, there we go. Like that.
Missiles all over you.
It's powering up the trigger circuit.
what? It's gonna...
Oh, no, never mind. It's fine. We shut it off.
Oh, okay. Phew. Captain, if you climb too high, you'll be an easy target for missiles.
I love how buffered that line
We're now
is.
dismantling the nuclear bomb. This is a pretty tiny bomb. Maybe it's a tactical nuke. Hard to believe something like this could wipe out
You
an
don't need to
entire
worry about the ravine. Not if you fly around it, but if you fly over it.
We're going to have missiles flying at you. Reduce your altitude and descend into the canyon.
Yeah, but it's intentional, okay?
He? Someone who knows us? Could it be?
This is going to be a real test of our flying.
Because there are two parts to this mission, right? There's the destroy all of these targets part, and then there's the shoot down Ofnir part. And, like, you can improve your time on both of them. And in this part, it involves flying around the ravine faster and shooting on these targets. And so this is one where I'm actually going to intentionally take it wide, because it makes it easier to hit that target.
What's going on? Answer me!
We're okay. We caught it just in time. Phew.
Enemy aircraft. The guys from the surveillance photo.
Be careful. Remember what Pop said. These guys are Belkin aces.
Near fighters. So they're the Yukon aggressors? Damn it, of all the places, I feel like they're hunting us like animals. Captain, if you climb too high, you'll be an easy target for missiles.
This isn't like those guys. What's keeping them?
So there really is someone out
Come down here, Ofnir, please. Is that Nagase line really delayed? Yeah, I think so.
There aren't Ocean military planes. The emblem's different. Whoever they aren't your typical pilots, that's for sure. Look, the enemy's running down Ovnir. There's only one squadron I know that can shoot down Ovnir. I was just thinking the same thing. Ross Grease.
That was indeed a really clean Ofnir fight.
It's pitch black. Give me a night scope.
Yeah, things got really out of order when I started flying above the canyon.
Looks like the other enemy forces bugged out on us too.
Right, because that started delaying dialogue.
Okay, we've dismantled the bomb.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but that was really quick.
For now.
We're going into the ocean to discard the bomb piece by piece. Nobody will ever be able to use it as a weapon again.
Like, the thing is that, like, you can see my PB run of this mission was a 6:38.
Don't be surprised.
Right, so, like, my PB run, that 3:47 time,
Nothing we can't get our hands on.
got a 6:38.8 on the split. My best run at the split is 6:04,
Coming for you.
and that's still 44 seconds away.
I don't know his name, but he left a message for your captain. I'll read it. It says, "Hey kid, I hear you're a hell of a squad captain now.
I mean, that said, this post-mission dialogue is insanely long.
Yes, perfectly.
Right, so that's 6 seconds faster than I've ever done that split, and it was 40 seconds faster than I did it in that PR time. Right, so we're back down at 2:38, which puts us where I don't actually have the current pace.
Rosgrease, launch!
But 2 minutes down would be 45, 16, and then 16, 22, so 38, I think. 3:44, 38, I think is what the pace would be. Which I'm
We were
happy
so
with.
close. I feel like the Belkins are always one step ahead. Don't you, Captain? I know, Captain. I haven't given up either.
I usually struggle a lot against Ofnir.
I can see it now, Nagase.
Yeah.
And the other thing
Reaching
too,
that altitude.
like,
Hey, is everything
that was a
okay?
good run against Ofnir, but it wasn't perfect.
Wait, the Arcbird.
And that was also a pretty good run in the first part too, but it also wasn't perfect, right? Because I overshot that
Doesn't the Arcbird's approach
one
path seem too
target.
deep? Its altitude
Right,
is
there was
too
that
low
one
for
target that I
armor change.
overshot and had to like double back for. So that would have saved probably another like
That white bird was a symbol of
7 to
hope,
10
Nagase.
seconds,
And now she must
at
try to
least,
shoot it down.
right? 10, 12 seconds maybe?
I'm in attack position. Awaiting orders.
We're under attack.
What? The Ocean Army's supposed to
Which
be
says
wrapped
something about how
around
good the
Africa.
Ofnir fight too was.
Black bodies, that emblem. It's them.
You were worried after Ofnir got behind me? Yeah, I kind of panicked and slowed down quite a bit.
What's the vocals? Get rid of them.
And part of it wasn't that they were just behind me, it was also that they were above me, and it's like, okay, well there's this blanket anti-air system.
I'm engaging the smaller aircraft deployed from the Artbird. Blaze, permission to separate? This is Edge. Roger. Let's maintain formation.
Shots say to Adler, do whatever it takes to gain altitude. Counting down to emission of boosters.
Like, all my wingmen are like, no, Blaze, stay below the rim of the canyon. And I'm like, nah, it'll be fine.
I used to stare at the blueprints all the time. That big engine.
But also at the same time, I know I can tank 1 or 2 missiles, I don't know, like, I can't tank 6.
It'll never
So,
go into space again.
Copy that.
We've got to destroy the Artbird.
you know, it's like,
When we're at peace again, the president revealed
if this fight doesn't go well and I keep utilizing, you know, going above the canyon in order to get better angles, but it doesn't end up working, then I'm just gonna take a whole bunch of missile damage.
Thrust increasing.
the Artbird descending again.
I heard Orville was destroyed by those guys. Don't worry. The Artbird is invincible.
Watch out for the missiles we're just weaving through. Exactly. Just weave through the missiles. Where are you, nuts? Yeah. Thunderhead is pretty nuts, actually. Jeez, how come those morons at Thunder Blockhead didn't notice this?
You are aware of the backup plan, right? I know.
Yo, kid!
Territory and set off the nuke. Your sacrifice will never
We
be
just need to start calling him Captain now.
It changed bearings. It's heading south now.
What are they thinking?
That this is a good idea somehow.
See a territory?
Don't back here.
Transocean airspace and self-destructs. It'll be a catastrophe.
The rear engine!
Ow.
Destroy the engine on its back! I think they've made the worst decision possible.
That's not what I wanted to target with that, but I guess that's fine.
Rather than decide to spend more this far. Can you believe it, Blaze? The fruit of their deep-rooted hatred, I suppose. But it's still hard to swallow.
Our cause will live on to be taken up by others that follow. Ready all cannons. We're going out in a blaze of glory.
No, I'm Blaze. I think you're confused.
Still got some tricks up its sleeve. Combined cycle engine destroyed.
It's still flying. Are we going to make it in time?
The fact that I hit that UAV.
Your
The
mission
poor UAV, you didn't deserve that. I mean, you did, but you didn't deserve that.
Carrying out the backup plan may be impossible under these conditions. Altitude dropping. Controls malfunctioning.
Well, it wasn't overkill. It did actually need both of those missiles. And that one was actually a split kill. I only got one of the missiles on it.
Yes. And humans are responsible for it.
But it was just like... I was not in a good firing position. And it was just like, okay, I guess I'll let myself get hit by this. This is a mission that's also full of a lot of waiting.
We're seeing this through to the end. Switch to auxiliary engines.
The Artbird's fired up its last engine.
Yeah, and that engine's destroyed.
That thing will not quit.
That thing will not quit. Did you miss the part where I destroyed the engine already? Nice. Okay, so now I just need a good Grabok fight. also need to have some patience. But we need to have a good Gravok fight.
This is Heartbreak 1. The jailbreak tour starts here. We're counting on your escort from the air.
Hi, Bartlett.
I'll be witnessing your bravery from down
Hey,
here,
Nastasia.
everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there someone else in the car? Me? I'm Mystery Woman number 1.
Slash Nastasia. Like,
There's a
I think it'd be, I think it'd be really funny if the radio actually identified her as Mystery Woman number 1.
Which takes more time.
Hey kid, which route looks better to you? Should I take the shorter one? Okay, I'll bust through the shortcut.
They're going through there?
He told me all about you guys. Kid, Chopper, and,
But the thing that I also find really weird.
Nagase. Hey, Nagase.
Of course, Nagase is the one that gets left out of that.
All right.
Gaining consciousness. They injected him with some kind of drug.
I don't mind all these attractions, guys, but next time pay for your own
Did I actually
tickets.
shoot these before? No, is the answer to that question.
I can just barely see them.
What I find really strange about Nastasia is that she is the girl that Bartlett fell in love with during the Belgian War. Right, she's the U-20 major that he fell in love with. And she has some plot relevance later. She's the one who provides the blueprints for the SOLG, I think.
Is Bard off being honest? I
Um,
hope he doesn't make a mistake like last month.
And there's a cutscene where she and Jeanette, the narrator, are talking on the bridge of
Thank you, sir.
the Castrol. Right, like right after this mission or something. And he asks for her name. Right. He's like trying to take a picture of her and asks for her name. And she says, just Major.
Captain Snow from the Naval
Which, like, is fine, right?
haven't introduced myself. I'm kinda shy, you know.
But the radio identifies her by name. Like, we know what her name is. Her name is Nastasia. But she's never referred to by name in the game. Like, she's just Major. And even in the briefings, right? Because there's a point where Pops, who does the briefings, is trying to describe, like, we've decoded the plans that the Major brought back with her.
Take the wheel.
Her name's Nastasia, right? It's just like, why? Why'd they do that? Because, like, you could do that with the Grabok leader, right? He has a name.
Roger, attacking.
He's canonically identified by name in Ace Combat Zero.
It's as if the Rosgreens
I don't think over the radio, but there's like an Assault Records page.
All that useless chatter.
Right, so you can get a brief bio of all the named aces you shoot down, and Grabok is one of them. Because you can shoot down Grabok 1
almost dawn, but those guys are keeping the sky dark.
in Mission 10 on Mercenary
Almost at the next
Ace style, hard difficulty or higher.
We either take our chances with the shortcut.
And he's referred to as Ashley Burtness. And actually, in this game,
Should I take the longer one? Okay.
in this game, during Final Option, as we're following Pops at the beginning of the mission, he's like, "Oh, is that you, Ashley? I kept hearing this name 8492 and was wondering what the heck it was. Ever since you started calling yourself the Gravok Fighter Squadron during the last war, I got sick of flying in the same sky with you. Seems like you've strayed even further from your ideals since then." Right.
Look how far away Mr.
Pops refers to him by name, and yet,
Mr. B sure loves to do things his own way.
what does the radio identify him as? Grabok leader. Every time. Or 8492nd leader. Depending.
I'm relying on you. I can't dogfight in a
Right.
car.
does not refer to him as Burnett's, or Ashley, or anything. Just 8492 leader, or Drawback leader, depending on when in the game.
There are planes with jet black coloring flying up there.
I don't get it.
I'll be taking you to a better place than this for breakfast.
Every time we go on a date, you bring along these great adversaries.
Stop that. You're making everyone jealous.
Little does she know that the pilot's HUD shows her name. Yeah, exactly.
Too much. It's distracting.
I'm not really sure how that works, but it does, and I'm not complaining. I just find it weird.
Take care of providing top cover.
That's literally all I can do.
Busting right through the middle.
I've also never understood why that's Snow's line, being the person who's never met Bartlett. That's one strategy. That's right through the middle. That's Bartlett for you. How do you know this? You've never met, presumably. Somehow. Also, how have they never met?
I assume you fly your plane the same way we drive. But no loop-the-loops, please.
But Bartlett says, you know, Captain Snow from the Naval Air Force, sorry I haven't introduced myself. I'm real shy around strangers, you know. So here, Captain.
All right, Prime Minister, but please be patient.
Like, how have Snow and Bartlett never met?
Tracer rounds are nothing more than pretty fireworks if they don't hit.
We're being attacked from the air, too.
Airfield operations will begin in 4 minutes.
You like to think that everyone knows her name, but she's just super secretive, so they just don't tell us. That'd be really funny. Look, girl, we all know your name, but you're not fooling anyone.
That car's like a fighter jet.
How did you know my name? I mean, I've known it for the last 15 years,
We're almost at the next
but I
turn
never
of the road.
told you.
We either take our chances with the shortcut, or take the long way with less risk.
Kid, you watching this? Will we be okay with the shortcut?
15 years ago,
Okay.
there was a
let's do
major.
the shortcut.
Well, there have been plenty of majors throughout times. Some of them have even been named Nastasia. I stopped being able to have any parallel with that line.
It's gonna get bumpy.
That's the opening,
Gentlemen, please watch your heads.
the opening cutscene. Or the opening narration.
Enemy vehicles approaching checkpoint.
15 years ago,
Okay, it's
there was a
time.
war.
Begin operation. Seize the hangar.
Well, war has broken out here plenty of times before. They've tried to destroy. They've tried to invade the Southlands, the Northern Valley, time and time again. Luck was never on their side, though. Their victories didn't last long.
What we're capable of.
All right, we're starting up. Pull us out.
They didn't realize times had changed. Facing one defeat after another, losing territory, and watching the nation dwindle, the Balkans raised up their industrial strength to unprecedented heights, and used it to wage one final battle against the world. That was 15 years ago. They fought ferociously, but were utterly defeated.
Escaping vehicle detected at 1 o'clock.
There's a half a sentence that I can't remember.
Okay,
The Balkans then did the unthinkable. They used nuclear weapons on their own soil. Seeing this tragedy unfold before their own eyes, the victorious nations vowed to throw down their weapons. The world was once again at peace. And thanks to them, it seemed it would last forever. On a distant island, far away from civilization, the protectors of the peace take to the skies.
Hey, I'll take any plane you've got.
And then it does the title card.
Better than a car.
Hasn't it been a while since Captain Bartlett flew a plane?
This platoon doesn't know when to shut up. Go on, return their fire. Thanks for the navigation, kid. That was a fun drive for all of us.
I'm glad you had fun, Bartlett, because I certainly didn't.
What is this? Haven't seen a plane like this in ages.
It's a little dusty in here.
Get the safety belt tight on the Prime Minister.
Yeah, I did really like that opening.
I'm sending out the security team now. Hold on a second. Hold and rotate the gun turret. Adjust your sights.
How exciting. Now we have an air battle.
I don't know what you're talking about, Nastasia. Like, I've been fighting planes this entire time.
All right, Evie. I'll see you back at the rendezvous point. All right.
Where is Evie?
I'm taking off. Hello, Sky.
That name only appears there.
Edge to Heartbreak 1. We'll fly past our allies' front line and head for the ocean. The Kestrel will meet us on the way.
Roger that. Just hope we don't run into any bad guys.
You had to say something.
Incoming aircraft. Looks like bad guys to me. The 8492nd.
Ah, the long-lost Belkin Grabok Fighter Squadron, huh?
That's the one.
Kid, get the Grabok. Don't let a single one escape.
The 8492nd is here. This will be the final showdown.
Ah, the fact that neither of those hit is not good.
Moving in for attack. You climb and patrol at high altitude.
Impressive. These fighters are definitely the Rosgrees.
Don't make the same mistake as Omnir.
You were just lucky. We'll decide who's better another time. I can slip past these guys all day. I can't fire back, but I got you for that now, kid. They're all yours. Great, I can hear you just fine. I'm counting on you.
Thank you, Wingman.
We'll just wait for the next opportunity to meet again.
Look at the way the captain moves. So that's how an ace pilot flies.
Blaze just keeps surprising me. He's getting better every second.
I won't be shot
3
down.
down, 1 to go.
No one's gonna take my place as Blaze's wingman.
Those aren't gonna hit. That's okay.
They're outnumbered, but they're still coming strong.
Fox 2! Fox 2!
That should hit.
The enemy still isn't giving up.
They're all
Looks like you got 'em
done.
all, but the bastards all bailed out. I gotta admit, those guys are true fighter pilots. We'll be back. You can count on it.
So that wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination. You know? Still not too bad though. Like overall.
Rosgrees, launch!
Not all of that's the Grabok fight, I think. But I don't know exactly how.
Blaze, you are clear.
I don't
A
know.
group of comrades has come to our aid. Protect these brave souls.
Yeah, they didn't give me great position, which is understandable.
Commence battle. We are not alone.
Kestrel CIC here. We'll transmit IFF data for the opposing ships. Don't fire on our allies. Can you do that? Good. The situation here is critical. Neutralize the opposing ships as quickly as you can.
Attack any ships that desert the fleet immediately.
Unbelievable! They're firing
Yeah,
into
that was
our
really
ships!
bad positioning, where I just like couldn't generate angles on them.
Coming to our side.
Those are literally your orders, Nagase.
You what a joke. You better not take any damage.
Those planes, are you the Rosgrees? I knew it. This is the Utubanian destroyer Judah. It is an honor to fight alongside you.
This is a destroyer, dude. We've been hit. We're sinking.
Two friendly Uke ships remaining.
Yes, sir. We are joining your fleet. You have my gratitude.
Allied fleet approaching.
Lucian ships, you mean?
Nearly sunk.
It's probably a waste of time, but try requesting some support.
traitors that joined forces with the Utes.
Are you forgetting the part where we literally rescued the Ocean president from Belkin control?
Sorry. My eyes are just tearing up looking at our new fleet.
I think they're forgetting that part, aren't they?
Ocean ships attacking. Transmitting new IFF data. Intercept their attack. We're counting on you. Be very careful not to drop any planes on our allies. Enemy U fleet destroyed. We'll continue to attack the remaining enemy ships.
The Ocean fleet turned over to the enemy.
My IFF is in up. They're really shooting at me.
Of course they are. They don't know us. We're supposed to be dead.
Says the person's not supposed to be dead.
No worries. All we gotta do is destroy the enemy in front of us.
Enemy escort ships dwindling. We're almost there.
That should be Ocean Fleet destroyed.
Assault! I'll break and evade!
Enemy planes launching onto me. I can't get into firing position. My threat warning won't stop going off. I don't know where the attack's coming from. My palms are all sweaty.
Did no one say that the Ocean Fleet was destroyed? Because I didn't hear that dialogue.
We'll have to shoot back at you.
But the fleet is destroyed.
Calm down. Don't lose it.
Like, that line just got lost entirely.
This makes me sick. Damn it.
On your right.
They completely forgot.
Grim, that's yours.
They completely forgot what the president looks like. I mean, it's been 3 months.
They're gonna shoot me down.
Ish, 2 months.
Calm down, Quote 3. Bank and evade.
I can feel the shockwaves all the way up here.
Don't take any unnecessary risks.
Like, I think it was a subtitled line that the Uke fleet was destroyed, and there was an unsubtitled line that I heard that was Ocean Fleet down to half strength, but I didn't actually hear the Ocean Fleet destroyed line.
And this is the result. Is there nothing we can do?
No, there's not nothing we can do.
I'll try placing my bets on
There's something we can do.
Was that a missile that just flashed by?
Target hit.
Very impressive, Captain.
But no, yeah.
All enemy ships suppressed. We've won.
Including the airships.
This is the captain of the carrier Kestrel. To all the brave souls that have survived, I congratulate you. Our journey is almost at an end, but we must not waver in our resolve to fight, to reclaim peace between the two nations.
Something we can do is what we can do. Exactly. See, you get it.
Blaze, begin.
We saved almost a full minute on that mission. A full minute! I mean, except for 1.9 seconds. That's what we can do. We can save a bunch of time. I want this raptor. That's what I want. I mean, I don't, but it's the plane I'm gonna use. I've mentioned this before, but the world record run actually switches to the F5, the starting plane, for this mission. Which is a strange choice. It's a safer choice, but it's a lot slower.
Those are Uke fighters.
This is the Yuktavanian 703rd Squadron. We heard the president's speech. We will fight with you.
Because the strategy that gets used there
Let us sing that song too.
is bombing the outside of the SOLG. Right, to destroy the 4 targets. Just bomb it from the outside. Because the F5 carries unguided bombs, right?
The Yuktavanian 172nd Fighter Bomber Squadron. We love that song too.
Which, like, works. It's a lot safer because it doesn't involve flying into the SOLG. But Also, the F5 is smaller. Like, I've genuinely thought about using the F5 for this mission instead, just because it's smaller. Right, not because it carries bombs.
I'll be briefing you, so pay attention.
But because it's smaller, it'll be easier to fit inside the SOLG.
They're asking for help. The warmonger is still left in both Oceania
Right?
and Yugdavania.
Like, that's the reasoning that I've thought about it.
Third V1 tactical nuke in exchange.
So it's interesting to see someone use that plane for a different reason.
They're gonna be sending out fighter jets.
This is the sky that will determine our fate.
We've got to win this battle and bring back peace.
All right, there it is. Lock, load, and stand by. Don't worry about the Uke fighters. Get the war dog ghosts. Follow me.
See? The War Dog Ghosts. He's the only person to call us that.
Hamilton's here too. Be careful. He was trained by the Grabok aggressors.
As the commander-in-chief of the Ocean Army, I hereby order all units to lower their weapons and cease fighting.
The ground force is being delayed by a defensive line of pillboxes. They need some close air support bombing.
The advancing Ocean and Yugdavanian forces have gathered in the industrial sector.
But yeah, the Raptor is a big plane. It makes flying through this tunnel and also flying into the SOLG more stressful than it might otherwise need to be. Ow.
Words convinced us to change our battle mission. Now commencing attack on the enemy facility.
No.
Wing units, listen up. There go the air assault choppers. We're going in too.
Enemy position silenced. Charge. All right, now let's go.
Okay, landing stations. We'll take the facility from the roof.
This is the 112th Infantry Battalion. We've arrived at the entrance to the control facility.
Toward that campfire.
Just shoot down that lead plane, and this will be all over.
They'll learn soon enough. Our ace can't be shot down.
But actually, my usual go-to, if I'm playing this casually,
Appear to have entered the urban
then my usual go-to for this mission is either the MiG-144, because it's actually a really good anti-surface plane, and LASM is not actually that useful here. Bombs are a lot better. Or the X-29A, which is the upgraded version of the F5, but it's an anti-air plane. Right, rather than anti-surface, so it carries SAM. But it's the same size, so it's this little tiny, like, not even air superiority fighter. But it's a fighter designed for, like, light dogfights.
Ghosts of Rosgrees. Yeah, let's get 'em. Get those
Well,
bastards.
that's not gonna hit.
This is Oka Nieva. Listen up, everyone in the choir. The enemies are all going after Rosgrees. It's not for the plane! The SOLG is attacking!
A satellite. How can it attack from up there?
Hamilton, how can you fly through the ground?
Our reinforcement has been cut off by the SOLG's attacks. Is the control facility destroyed? Roger. Help us against those bullets and fight over here. We're counting on you.
Like, I was crashed into the ground dogfighting him because I'm pretty sure he went into the ground.
Amazing. It's just... I can't even describe it. Just unbelievable.
He's the one, no doubt.
I would have been very upset.
Man, that's a big tunnel. All right, we're opening the tunnel entrance.
We've
You for sure dove into the ground.
advancing together. A scene unimaginable just a
Can I have my tunnel, please? Thank you.
We confirmed the opening of the tunnel as well. Are you ready?
Nope.
Roger.
But it doesn't matter. again, any of the three of you could do it. I don't understand this. Like, I get... From, like, a dynamic perspective, I love the fact that it's Bartlett, right? Like, the fact that basically it puts... Because it basically ties the story together, right? We started as War Dog 4 under Bartlett, and now, like, we've kind of single-handedly won the war. But it puts us and Bartlett on, like, even terms. Which he doesn't deserve, but is kind of this nice little detail, and it lets you have this sort of character dynamic between Bartlett and Hamilton. Difference between friend and foe. But at the same time, from an actual logistics perspective, it doesn't make any sense to be like, a separate plane flying in from the other side? How many pilots do we even have that can do something like that? When all 4 Rosgreaves members are flying in together? Like, there is no reason we couldn't split off into 2 teams of 2, because clearly all 4 of us can fly through this tunnel. And, you know, Snow doesn't think it's weird. Like, no one's like, oh, we're flying into that tunnel? This is gonna be really hard. Gotta be careful. Right? It's just, oh, well, we've gotta do this thing. And so, like... There's no reason, you know, Grim and Snow couldn't fly through from the north end. Right? Doesn't make any sense. And we made really good time on that, too. Yeah, we have 4, and it's not like any of the 3 of them do anything, right? Like, I destroyed the target and all 3 planes that were following Bartlett, right? And in higher difficulty there's a 4th, but, like, it doesn't matter. They don't do anything.
Your final sortie.
Your wingmen don't do anything. I mean, your wingmen don't do anything ever, but... Or consistently, anyway. Just... And say what you want, right? Like, nah, it's too complicated to have you all split up. It doesn't make any sense, right? Just don't worry about it, it's fine. Remember Mission 8? When we, escort the president? Remember that mission? Remember how at the start of that mission it's just Nagase and me? And Grim and Chopper doing a patrol somewhere else? Like... Because the whole point of that mission, right, the fact that we're escorting the president is an update. The original operation was just to perform a patrol over that area. Right? So, Nagase and I are doing a patrol over one area, and Chopper and Grim are 300 miles south of us, patrolling over there. We've already done this breakup into 2 teams of 2 thing, right? Like, it just, it bothers me, okay? There are a handful of other situations where I really wish we could do that. Mission 16 is a good example as well, where it's like, we have this huge area, why don't we split up into 2 teams? The squad isn't hive mind. I mean, to some extent they are. They follow my orders, but that's, like, not the same thing at all. So, I agree, if they're not a hive mind, it'd be fine. And they do that anyway! Again, like, in Mission 8, they do exactly that. You're already outnumbered 2-on-1. No, there's a plane in front of me. Also, this plane just went in the water.
We gotta take out the one in command.
3 minutes. Let us be needed.
Captain Chopper, if you're here, please look after us. I don't have time to be afraid. We gotta get past them.
Stay sharp. React fast.
You're in gun range.
Thank you, opening it up.
The SOLG will be coming for you.
Launched. Activating guidance.
Oh, Fox moves.
Don't think you've won this. This isn't over yet. All enemy planes destroyed.
I love the timing on that. Don't think you've won this. This isn't over yet. All enemy planes destroyed. I think it's over. I think we've won this fight. Yeah, it's the Magic Balkan technology. It's Magic Balkan tech. Like, that's not even that strange.
Morning's coming.
Our night flight is over. I can't wait to see it. The most beautiful sunrise ever.
And the sun will continue to rise.
Side note, I also really like this song.
I just remembered. My birthday's coming up next week.
See? Aren't you glad you're still alive?
I bet my mom
Oh
will
yes,
be happy
thank
to see
you.
my brother come back
I
home
was gonna
for
forget
fun.
to have them not attack. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the reminder.
You ought to go make it
I
happen.
appreciate that a lot.
We're almost done here.
1 minute.
Captain, I want to thank you.
Like a calm before the final storm? Yeah, because you know what song's coming, right?
Flying as a wingman again. I now know how my men felt.
I mean, we're not gonna get to hear it, but the song that's coming is Unsung War. Another song that I really love.
That I would never lose another flight.
Yeah, what
And that's what's kept me
I was
flying.
very helpfully reminded to set my wingman to cover. The reason why I sometimes inexplicably hit the side of the SOLG is that my wingmen are attacking it, and so it moves. It moves with, like, the missile hit. So you want your wingmen not to be attacking it so that it doesn't move.
To an altitude low enough for you to attack. I know you can do this.
That's what I've been told. That makes sense.
I've received a data link from your guy, Bobs, with the SOLG structural details. The SOLG's outer shell has a rotating accelerator. The only way you can attack its core structure directly is through the gaps in this accelerator. That's bad news. This'll be tough.
We gotta stop that thing, Grim!
I know. Captain
I'm
Nagase.
literally hitting swordsman.
That